Captain's log, stardate 1512.2.
Why does Spock want to take us to that one forbidden world in all the galaxy? His former captain, mutilated by a recent space disaster, and unable to speak or move.
I have never disobeyed your orders before, Captain. I know it is treachery against Captain Kirk, but I must do this.
No vessel, under any condition, emergency or otherwise, is to visit Talos 4.
And to do so is the only death penalty left on our books.
There's a false entry in the log right now which doesn't jive with the established facts. How do you explain that?
I can't, but to question Spock of all people.
Doctor, as senior officer present, I present myself to you for arrest.
You're a perfect choice.
We're surrounded by Romulan vessels.
The Enterprise infected by a deadly plague.
The expedition is suffering from extreme old age. Physically, we each have less than a week to live.
I want the answers and I want the remedy.
It could cure or kill.
Now, the crew must survive without Kirk.
We have no alternative but to surrender.
Star Trek.
Is anyone aboard? All bridge personnel report immediately. Engineering. Mr. Scott?
Captain Kirk? Captain Kirk was transported down.
He never arrived.
Who are you?
If you didn't bring me here...
That's right. Who has brought you here?
I request permission to beam down to conduct the search for our captain.
Permission denied.
You're gonna let him get away with that?
This would be madness.
Transport me down right this minute and I'll prove to those...
I cannot accept the responsibility for ordering a fellow officer to violate a Starfleet directive. I can make such a decision only for myself.
You come to die.
I don't know. I only know I'm happy.
Prepared you.
Defend yourself.
There's the Mort's accomplice. Arrest him.
The other law.
Jim, what's the matter? Jim.
Lord Elvis, what's that?
It's spirits.
Do you know what it's like to be alone?
Yes.
Spock, you killed him.
You listen to me, you pointed-eared Vulcan. I don't like that. I don't think I ever did, and now I'm sure.
He's a witch! He's a witch!
Has nothing to do with it.
At least let me talk to you.
There are witches.
Witch! Witch! It'll burn ya!
The ultimate weapon.
What attacked you? It's right out of hell.
He's headed for Earth.
This entire solar system has been destroyed.
Now the Enterprise must succeed.
Captain, we've been attacked.
Where all others have failed.
I'm gonna ram her right down that thing's throat.
This is the Trek fans have been waiting for.
1,000 miles in closing.
With all new digital effects.
Push it right to the edge.
Jim, you'll be killed.
Star Trek.
In the name of heaven, where are we?
The crew encounters its most ruthless enemy ever.
Tally-ho!
Now held hostage by this mischievous madman.
Who is this maniac?
What is he?
Their only way out
Leave my crewmen alone.
Are you challenging me to a duel? Smashing.
is to join in the fun.
Cat and mouse game.
Aha! You must try harder. This is too easy.
Tally-ho.
Star Trek.
Captain's log, stardate 3192.1. Trying to find some trace of the starship Archon that disappeared 100 years ago. A search party has been sent to the planet below. Those power readings you took, are they...
Powerful enough to destroy a starship?
Where's another one? We gotta get out of here. You know what they're capable of. Only you.
Landru, he comes.
I am Landru. For the good of the body, you must die.
Captain's log, stardate 4513.3. After having been taken over by an android, we are entering orbit around a planet which has never been charted. Who sent you?
You should refer to me as Mud the First. I've had 500 of them made up to attend me.
I love you. However, I hate you.
What a shame you're not real.
We are programmed to function as human females.
You are? This place is even better than Leningrad. Hey!
Scotty's dead. He had too much happiness.
The fact is, I've taken over your whole ship. There's nothing you can do about it.
If you do not leave voluntarily, I have the power to force you to leave or kill you where you stand. Have you ever seen a victim of Virgilian fever? They die in one day. The effects are like bubonic plague. The Enterprise, a plague ship. The last tender encounter, Captain Kirk. Be thankful that you did not attack me, Captain. I might have accepted battle, and I have twice your physical strength. How childish he is, Raina. Would you call him brave or a fool?
I will not be the cause of this. I choose.
My crew. Time for you to join your crew.
This is Captain Kirk. Is there anyone on board?
Of all their missions,
The crew didn't leave. Something crystallized them.
If you've come aboard this ship, you're dead men.
nothing has prepared them for this.
My entire crew gone. Without a serum, we're trapped.
That's enough of that, Captain.
Our tissues show a massive infection. Let's see how eager you are to die.
Spock, we gotta do something.
Star Trek.
Medical log. 3 alien minds now inhabit the bodies of Captain Kirk, Science Officer Spock, Dr. Ann Mulhall.
I am Sargon.
Go along with us.
Lend us your bodies for a short time.
And destroy them.
I could destroy you with one thought.
Spock's consciousness is gone. We must kill his body.
Pain, Captain. Exquisite pain.
Without the same formula, Captain Kirk will die.
It is therefore necessary for you to kill your captain so that Sargon will die with him.
What is it?
He's dead.
Sir, contact with an object. It's moving toward us.
Captain's log, stardate 1512.2. The Enterprise and crew are held captive by a strange alien vessel.
Basic maneuvers, Mr. Sulu.
Object changing direction too, sir. Keeps coming at us.
It's blocking the way.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Are you ready to go beyond?
He did it. He went there.
I did it, and I'm gonna say that so many times. in
Until
this
we
stream.
all can't wait for you to get beyond it. Yes, absolutely.
This made $1 billion. Let's not do the Morbius jokes. We just did those pre-stream. Hello,
It
everyone.
was a success, if I recall, but I don't think it was a
not.
it
Well,
not?
not for the studios. I think it just broke even, which, considering
it
Into
did
Darkness
that
made a
badly.
lot of money, is quite disappointing. But we can get
okay.
into that. There's reasons.
We're gonna have to get onto that, but I'm just gonna write. I'm gonna actually open up a notepad because my note for this is gonna be delayed flop effect.
Anyway, hello. We're going to be watching Star Trek Beyond. Our first kind of entry. We're choosing our first Kelvinverse to be the last one. Weirdly, I think it was Dan. This is your draft pick, which is great because I remember enjoying this film. I saw it. I've seen it a few times, and I didn't see it at the cinema. I betrayed Star Trek on this occasion. I was part of the problem. Because like most people, we saw Into Darkness and went, oh no. Oh no. And then hearing the stories that Justin Lin of Fast and Furious fame was directing this film and went, oh no.
So I have a story to tell about my Into Darkness viewing experience. I think is relevant here to why I also did not see Beyond in theaters, and God knows it's because we're not going to do Into Darkness for a long, long fucking time if I have anything to say about it.
Yes.
So up to the it's kind of hard to remember now, but there was a lot of interest leading up to it because, oh man, they got Benedict Cumberbatch, and it's like, and then the rumors started hitting about who he was playing, and they were trying to play it coy with the John Harrison line.
McCoy,
yeah, they were trying to, and then I think about a day or two before, no, like a week or two before, I got basically the plot rundown. Of what the actual movie thing was, and I was like, I can't think of anything I would want to see less. And my dad and his at the time girlfriend were like, "Come see in Star Trek Into Darkness. Like we want to go see it at the movies." And like, because like my dad was who introduced me to Star Trek. My his girlfriend at the time was extremely into Star Trek, so And I was like, I kind of don't want to. I've heard not great things. And they were like, come on. And then so I'm sitting there watching it, and then I'm just like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is worse. Oh no, what are you doing? I think I started to just like start sinking in my seat around about the time that Carol Marcus was getting naked. Yes. Because that character has a lot of special meaning to me, and I really appreciate her a lot. And seeing her demeaned like that was not fun. And then by the time like we got to the moment, the reverse Khan scream, I think I just turned to my dad like this, and I've never forgiven him for that moment. And so guess what? I didn't want to go and see Beyond because they had so completely betrayed my trust. And like, I didn't have as strong a reaction to the 2009 movie as Otto did, where he went to see it like 10 plus times, but I did really enjoy it at the time, especially because there was no other Star Trek out at the time. And like it was so wild to just flip from we're so back to it's so over. So I had no faith that Beyond would be any good, especially when they announced Fast and Furious. And the trailers, which we're probably going to watch in a moment, did not do it any favor by focusing on the dumb motorbike shit.
Yeah. Shall we watch said trailer?
Good segue.
Let's watch said trailer. Okay, so there were several trailers. I'm just going to go. This is the first one, the initial one that all the Star Trek fans were like, right, let's see what they're going to do with this. Where are they going with this? So this is the first, and we're not going to play any others. I'm just going to play this one. So the first minute and a half trailer. So let's go.
Yeah, it's harder to do the rule of three trailer game with theatrical trailers. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Is that music?
It's a good choice.
Hey, well played.
Summer.
No ship. No crew. How are we gonna get out of this one? We will find hope in the impossible.
Well, at least I won't die alone. Well, that's just typical.
Yeah.
Let's hope this doesn't get messy.
This is where it begins, Captain. This is where the frontier pushes back. What the hell is this?
I know why you're here. Why we are all here.
Okay, let's never do that again.
Action!
Yeah, I feel like the only thing they could have done worse was made it seem like it was a show about a bunch of like high school kids, you know, going to Starfleet Academy or something. So.
Wow.
Rolling around on the grass on the quad. Anyways, yeah. Inauspicious. Yeah, this is a trailer that obviously is you know, people are already in their seats watching Fast and the Furious 8 or whatever was out at the time, and they're like, okay, we got to grab their attention for a minute and a half. Let's just go ahead and put some action and some music in. So,
and this is the problem
really
with like most film trailers, to be honest. But I mean, I will just pull a quote, which I will come back to later. But just TLDR. But basically, what the marketing team came down to realize that they think most of the general population didn't like this film or want to see it because it seemed too Trekky. So bear in mind, we have just seen that trailer, and then we hear that, and it's like,
yeah, that was too Trekky. Yeah,
yeah, it's a weird sort of play. But we've got a long film to watch, so let's not beat about the bush. Let's do some pre-ratings. Also, I want to hear from you because you haven't seen this film, which is a rare occasion.
I know absolutely nothing about it. I don't even remember Into Darkness, which I did watch once in theaters. I have absolutely zero memory of it, other than Cumberbatch was in it.
Yeah,
that's for the best.
This trailer is probably pretty much what 09 would have been marketed as. I watched it like 10 times in theaters. It was the summer after I graduated, so I had a car and a job, and I wanted to go see Star Trek. There's no Enterprise. It's probably trash. If I watched it again, it's probably trash. But at the time, it was like, oh, this is Star Trek, baby. So I love
shot in the arm, yeah.
And I had zero interest in Beyond, so I must have watched this trailer and been like, no, we're not going to go.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm going pre-rating the trailer and the fact that I never even approached it. I'm going to pre-rate this a 3.
That's very understandable.
I understand it's gotten a lot of good buzz, and so it'll probably go up, but just from what I'm seeing, 3.
And I'm going to go from my memory. I think the last time I actually watched this film was probably about 6 years ago. It's a 10-year-old film, guys. This is wild.
In 2 months, 10 years. Yep.
26.
This film's kids are in college by now.
Yeah. In fact, it's the year after my son was born. No, which is he's now 10. And that's wild. So, but yeah, I remember this film. It's good. It's got its action hooks to it. There's a few bits of just like, oh, you're doing but Star Trek did this, so we should do this sort of things. But I'm gonna go with a cautious 7 because I think this does a lot of things right by the characters, if not the overall plot. I feel like this is probably the best Pine Kirk film, if I remember rightly. Dan.
I think 09 is probably the best, but I think this is a solid contender. You know, it's fine. I have positive feelings about this movie because my daughter was born a year before this movie. We finally got out on one of our very first dates while she was still in diapers. My wife and I got to go out and see this movie, and so there was a lot writing on it, but we walked out with smiles. It was fine. I think we were the only people in the theater. We saw it right before it left theaters. So you know, actually, one of the 4 people reviewing it did see it contemporaneously. So hey, there's that.
Can your wife join this watch along? Would that make it better?
Wow. Let's see if she's here. She would elevate anything that she appears in. Yes, but in the I think in the theater it was a quick enough. It was a fun enough ride that I remember it kind of passing pretty quickly. I also remember, and I'm not going to bring in any spoilers here, but at the end there's kind of this centerpiece action scene, and it really, I think, did not motivate me. So a little bit of a weak ending in my opinion, but I think the rest of it's a great ride. So I'm going to pre-rate it a 6.8.
Ooh, decimals for a pre-rating. I don't know how to feel about that.
You got it, baby. Yeah.
I'm curious. Did you
never
come into
needed
this
decimal
one?
ratings before.
Did you come in with your Schiller rating already, or are you gonna?
No, I don't. I'm gonna be harvesting it from the movie. Yep.
All right.
Locally sourced Schiller ratings. Stars.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think that on the whole, this is my favorite of the. They're also called the AOS movies. I'm not sure where that acronym comes from.
What's that stand for?
I've heard that.
I had no clue. Like alternate
always say
original
Kelvin.
series.
It's Kelvinverse,
It's
isn't
alternate original series. That's what it is. It's alternate original series. Not as catchy as those old scientists. I know. I think that the villain has a lot of potential, and they bottle it in a few different ways. But I like the idea of it a lot. There's some cool world building. There's some real love for the franchise. I guess you could classify them as member berries, but they hit right for me. Yeah. And most of all, it's the character writing that I think actually, like, I felt like these movies always had really good casting, but the material was never quite on their level. Like John Cho, Chris Pine, Zoe Saldana, Zachary Quinto. These are all very good actors who have any number of credits you can point to, maybe not Emilio Perez, that are like make it clear that these are very talented individuals, but like the 09 and Into Darkness never really pushed them. I feel like this actually pushes them, and that I always have an affection for movies that do that. So I was originally going to go for an 8. I think the villain stuff does really drag it down, so I think I'm going to go for a 7.5, and maybe I'll improve.
Yeah. All right, okay. Spool up your Blu-ray edition of this. I don't think this is on Paramount Plus. I think this is probably one of the things that you can watch on a decent streaming service. So whatever it's on in your local area, probably a Netflix or an Amazon. Get it ready.
We might need to bring back the Star Trek show so we can rant about them pulling off the original copies of Star Trek.
Yes, yeah, there we go.
So
and Resurgence as well. We got a lot to moan about Paramount for lately. But let's watch something.
You can't get burnt out, Idle. You can't get burnt out yet. We got to bring back the Star Trek show and Star Trek timelines. We got a full roster.
I know, and I need to do some Act as well. Anyway, let's watch. I can chill here. Let's watch a decent Star Trek film. Okay, let's begin this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Punch it.
Beyond,
which I believe is.
I just realized your countdown is the only time we ever let you get a clean audio off, because it's for the people. It's not for you. So.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's for the children.
Oh, I do love the theme.
No, the music.
Oh yeah, no, the Giacchino.
Is this Enterprise and Young Men?
Yes.
Yeah. They've started every film with this, I think.
So fucking good.
All right, it's up to a 4 now. Sabotage will bring it back down.
Yeah. The visuals in this are stunning. I will say, like the VFX.
It's aged tremendously. I remember being really pissed off even at the time because there is a makeup effect in this movie that is so incredible, and then it lost to Suicide Squad with fucking Jared Leto in it. It was fucking awful. I was so annoyed.
There's also a character in this they bring back in Academy, actually. Alien Design. The one that sings the opera with the Doctor.
Oh yeah,
originally from Beyond, which is cool.
Okay. I didn't even. I thought I'd seen that design before. I couldn't place it.
There was a time when I was happy to see the Bad Robot logo.
Oh, Olatunde.
No, this is pure Abrams. No, this is Lin, isn't it? This is Justin Lin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Abrams is just a producer.
Yeah, Justin Lin and Simon Pegg writing.
He does kind of look like him.
I think they've also changed up the uniforms in this one, haven't they? They've tightened up the collar.
That voice sounds familiar. I mean, it's pretty much the start to Nemesis, really.
A little bit.
I've been watching a lot of Arrested Development lately. Chris Pine has a very Jason Bateman.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's got some of that.
Yeah.
He's really nailing TOS Kirk, though.
Yeah.
That also is very TOS Kirk.
Oh, double axe handle.
Yeah, he was going for it. Worst skee ball game ever.
Answering the question, one 2,000-pound gorilla or 2,001-pound gorillas?
Yeah.
Ah. I don't really like Carl Urban, but I like him as Bones.
Oh, I love him. I can't even think I've been unhappy with him in. He's amazing as Dredd as well.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that.
Dredd's fucking baller.
Yeah. I see you've got your shirt off again.
Yeah, a little bit.
Subtitles are a little dodgy.
Yeah.
Hello, darkness.
Kind of looks like Pike from behind.
Yeah.
From this angle, yeah.
Yeah, I do like these. I didn't realise actually the Beyond uniforms are slightly different, but they are actually a little bit better.
Yeah. They're a bit tighter on the collar. I like it.
They need the gray styrofoam coffee cups.
A lot less lens flare here as well. R.I.P. Anton Yelchin.
Nope.
Like that. Oh. Hi, Frank.
Kirk does not have the attention span to do a log this long.
I like this.
Love that shot.
That shot. That's...
What are we watching? What is this? Huh? What button did I press? Who are these people? Nerds.
You gonna watch?
Bye, Frank. Bye, Frank.
Nope.
He just came on to eat some chips.
Yeah, the
what?
Wow, that's yeah. These must be AI made subtitles.
I kind of like Urban in general. He is a little bit too caricaturish, I think. Oh, they're trying to
Also-
bring in the movie vibe.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also love this is a callback to the cage of all things.
Jam.
But yeah, I do love that line of "I'm 1 year older than he ever got to be." That's a moment. Nice little lounge.
It's not overstated either. It's not like Pike's quarters, is it?
Yeah. Or even like the season 2 lounge in Change the Worlds. Yeah, he is a little bit overblown.
I don't know. I think that's all right.
Well, he's kind of stuck in grumpy Bones, but Bones a lot of the time was really easygoing, and I don't think he captures it quite as much.
I do like this.
I think it's also just like the space station is awesome. It's a kind of a weird design. Like I
It's
could see
very
all
over the
problems
top,
with it,
though. It is like, look at that, but that's I like that.
it also just kind of fits the aesthetic of the movies, I guess.
Yeah. I remember the toy when I was a kid, Capsella. Does anybody remember these things?
Is it like the globes with the marble in it that you have to...
Yeah, it's like a globe that had mechanics on the inside, and you plugged them in. They were all modular. It looks just like that.
Is this still Giacchino?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he did all three. I mean, it's very Citadel, isn't it? But, you know.
Yeah, it is the Mass Effect Citadel. You're actually right. Where's Avina?
That's a nice shot.
Mm.
But if you needed to get out there in a hurry, completely impractical.
Yeah, no, you would not be able to do Star Trek 3, the escape from space dock in this space dock.
Man, they found a great parking spot. Jeez.
It's a good bit of
Well,
Star
that's
Trek.
what happens when you pay ahead of time.
Yeah.
God, his bowl cut is so severe.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's a bit too stuck in Abrasive Bones, but I don't know if that's like urban so much as it is just the script constantly asking for that.
Maybe.
I think it is urban. When did Yelchin pass?
Not long after this.
Like the year after, I think. Yeah.
In post-production for the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was your gay rep in Star Trek up until New Trek.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, to be fair, this was the last film until New Trek, but okay.
Yeah, but it took until 2016.
I say Discovery was only a year after this.
Yeah, it's true, actually. It is weird to think about that. They feel like such different things. Oh yeah, and then Nimoy had passed it by this point as well.
Year before, I think. It's quite a tragic set of years, to be honest. David Bowie around this time as well.
Yeah.
Notable Star Trek alum David Bowie.
It's always...
I mean, he was a star man.
Yeah. It's a lot slower as well than I thought it would be.
Hmm.
Than I remember it being, even, should I say.
Yeah, we haven't got any Beastie Boys yet.
Star Trek is getting exponentially faster over the years.
How's that guy?
Oh, hey, Matt Greenberg.
Oh, God.
He's in, like, every Abrams thing.
Hey, Shoresh.
Hey, Shore. It blew the fuck up.
A ship, you say?
Oh, I just love her voice.
Yeah. And then she'd be on the Expanse swearing like a fucking sailor.
Yeah, have a Sorala. Although I always think of her as a Mass Effect character.
Yeah. It was nice because, like, it was, because '09 and even Into Darkness still treated him like a cadet at times, didn't it? Or like,
yeah,
it's like the first time you see him as the captain, and that's good.
Which is a massive change up from '09, where they were fighting over the captaincy. Are these grey uniforms sort of meant to be like hearkening to the TMP outfits? I'm not sure.
Maybe. It all seemed to be like off-duty uniform. Yeah.
Good, then we'll talk. You wouldn't know it, judging by the last two movies, but...
That's not a flattering shot. Looks like fucking Jar Jar Binks.
Well, I mean, this ship always had weird
yeah,
didn't it? Like, there are better Enterprises, many.
Of course.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? We're also the only ship in the quadrant.
Great visuals. I love that.
It's sort of wild to me that Stranger Worlds looks as good as this. Like, that's how far VFX technology has come, that you can do visuals like this that were so exclusive, just like nearly 10 years down the line.
And the other thing I think is partly '09 and this one do right is they make the ship the character as well, which is always a good sign of a good Trek to me. Because the Enterprise is like, yeah.
Well, it's integral, yeah. It shouldn't just be a vehicle to get us from place
Yeah.
to place. Altamid is a very TOS planet name. Should be like Altamid 235.
That's a bit Altamid. Altamidland. Shinzon.
Not Shinzon of Remus. I mean, you should also say shields up, no?
Yeah. There you go. But he's not here. He's not in this film. That's cool. I like that.
I mean, would you not be able to like shoot the torpedoes and have them explode mid-swarm?
Yeah, they can control when they detonate.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, that's rough.
The dish, not the ditch. Fucking hell. Stupid subtitles.
Yeah, these subtitles are not it.
Yeah.
The transmission fell out.
Wait, are you telling me that these really thin, spindly nacelles have broken apart? That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the third film.
I forgot they even had phaser rifles in this movie. I don't remember them using them. I forgot they had the little spinny phases that go from stun to kill. I feel like that was like designed to be a toy.
It's a toy, yeah.
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 Merchandising.
Merchandising. Why did you read those off in the wrong direction?
Probably coming in as he was reading it. Oh, it's the collectors.
I'm sure all these people wearing red are going to go real well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they got a few shots off, I guess. I forget who these people even are, because I'm thinking about the context of the movie. I'm trying to remember.
I do, yeah, I remember. Digunda.
Well, there's some good camera movement going on.
Not too many spinny cameras, except this one right now.
Well, they like doing the slant, but they don't like spinning the camera around in 360s all the way.
Olatunde Unsan hasn't been born yet, so it's okay.
I'm fairly certain he's been born yet. I know you think so lowly of him as a director that you wouldn't be surprised if he was a 10-year-old, but I don't think he's quite that young.
No,
Could have just opened the door.
Yeah.
There was a button, you know. Ooh, that's rough. That's the problem with those Galileo-style shuttles. They're like 5 seconds away from exploding at any point.
They made it out of the same material the teddy bears are in airplane explosions.
I thought you were going to say the teddy bear from... No, not the teddy bear, the weird doll from Beyond... Section 31.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Yes, the cord.
It's delicious, Captain. Thank you.
Ooh.
That's cool. That's very Mass Effect. It's also a very TOS style thing to have happen to a crew member.
Yeah, he's Salt Creature, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Just fiddle with some cables, Scotty. That's all you need to do. Do you guys ever think it was a mistake to establish that phasers have a wide beam? Because you're always just asking why don't you use a wide beam.
Also, the gunnification of phasers is something I was never quite keen on. Like, it was fine in the Kelvin because that's what they established, but
yeah,
when they did it in Discovery, I was a bit like, just make them phaser beams. That's what everyone else has done.
I don't know. I feel like Enterprise also kind of did that with like the phase pistols. Like, granted, that was also justified because they're at an earlier point in development, but.
It is the Viceroy from Nemesis, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very generic baddie villain design, isn't it? That's rough.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they want to go for, like, the destruction of the Enterprise D or the 1701, but
this
it's
is,
like...
and also Search for Spock as well. It's kind of...
Well, I was going to say, you don't have the same attachment that you do when
no,
the...
that's the thing.
Because you've seen those for, like, 79 or 189 episodes or whatever, and it's like, hey, you've known this for 2 movies at best.
It was weird as well, because, like, oh, third movie, I bet they're going to do the rehash thing and destroy the Enterprise, and yeah.
I never heard that one, but yeah. Can't say it doesn't make sense, though. We'll also say that, like, you know, this one formalized the breaking of the odd, even curse.
Yeah.
You know, it does make me laugh that when in shows, when the other show in the episodes, they're like, "Oh man, our structural integrity is down this low," and meanwhile, this is 18%.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're being very generous with that 18%.
Yeah, the ship's in pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
18%
like
over here.
Yeah,
20% over there.
Yeah.
And some Groot.
Don't know how that. Okay, well, sure, fine,
Yeah.
whatever. That's convenient. I want to see an edit that has that little scene that's doing yoink, yoink, yoink.
That music.
Jesus. Yeah, it really should have been the
Yeah.
Like, it really should have been. Torpedo would do it. I mean, it's very handy that it was that easy to empty it, really.
Right, time for some Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, a little bit. He's got on his Steam Deck. Like, he yanked the warhead and climbed into that thing real easy.
I forgot as well. This is after Guardians of the Galaxy as well, because that was 2013.
2 years after, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I always assumed that this happened and then Marvel happened, but it's all kind of intertwined, isn't it?
Yeah, this was the same year as like Black Panther and stuff.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, Civil War. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh no, Black Panther was 2018. Yeah, this was Civil War. Oh, Doctor Strange then this year, I think.
Yes, because I remember watching Doctor Strange and going, because it's Michael Giacchino again, and thinking, oh, this sounds like the Star Trek soundtrack.
I'm having a hard time understanding why they're separating the saucer when the enemy already did a good job of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... I guess it's just to get rid of the neck because it's holding them back or something. I don't know.
Down she goes. Three shots, 3 kills.
Hey, is this the same like configuration as the Spock's brain? You got Kirk, Sulu, and Chekhov on the bridge working through the problem. See you on Grivet Island.
Yeah. It is very kind of end of film-esque feeling, but yeah. Sets the tone, I suppose.
Yeah, this is meant to be very reminiscent of Search for Spock, isn't it?
The neck would have caused them to come in at a bad angle and burn up, that's why.
Oh, okay. You know, I'll actually accept that. Like, realistically speaking, it was just to give Kirk something to do, but, like, I'll accept it as a logic.
That normally would have been eject the warp core, but...
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, that was a non-issue by that point. Now, I have to say, if I was in an escape pod, I would not like to be separated from imminent death by a pane of glass or transparent aluminum, but, you know.
Oh, we're timeless now.
Now, a little known fact, this just happened at the Paramount set because they had to destroy all the Strange New World sets. They struck all those, so this just happened over at the Paramount lot.
Thank God for inertial dampeners, right?
Yeah, no, like, it's a really good thing they have inertial dampeners inside the photon torpedo.
Don't think about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm thinking about it, Idol. Honestly, I'm thinking about
it's
it.
okay. Don't worry about this.
That's fine. I'm actually okay with this. It's Hollywood doing Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
Although I probably would have just had like the root thing be there, so we could grab that as a handhold.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I do like these jackets. These jackets are very cool. You should always have a cool jacket in your Star Trek movie.
I cheated.
Aye, Captain.
I like that they did this on location. There's just something nice about them being out in nature.
Yeah, it definitely sells like big budget more when you're on a location. Even if occasionally you get insurrection where it's like, yeah, it's on location, but you picked the wrong location, so it feels very Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, it's wild that they actually filmed that in the briar patch.
I meant more the space Amish bit, but okay. We're in a quarry. Are we in Doctor Who?
Wait, it's Galatep.
A Dalek's going to come trundling over any second now.
On a suspiciously smooth little area of land, yes.
Yeah. Listen, the Robo-Men made those.
Yeah.
The Robo-Men from Planet 12?
Not Uhura. You know.
You mean Mihura? No, Uhura. Oh.
He had top billing.
This is after Avatar as well. This is when like Zoe Saldana is like huge, and she's still come back for Star Trek.
Also 2 years after Guardians.
Yeah, she came back for Star Trek. Like that's cool.
Do you think this camera shot could do with being a little bit slower? Sorry, you were saying?
I was just gonna say, first act was okay. You know, they set the stakes for okay.
It's decent, yeah. I feel like it could have hit way harder if they hadn't like shown off the ship getting blown off in every trailer, but you know, that's just marketing, isn't it? That's one of those sacrifices. Doctor, I appear to have been penetrated.
I thought the iliac region was in Turkey.
Lovely olive oil.
That seems weird.
Would have gotten your elbow.
Not everyone keeps their genitals in the same place.
That's a very Spock line, to be fair. God damn it, man. I'm a doctor, not a weaponsmith. See, McCoy's been waiting to do that for years.
Yeah.
I like how Otto hasn't said a single word. He's soaking it in.
I think he has us muted. I think that's probably why.
You know what? I don't even blame him.
I think it's
don't
probably
blame
the best
him.
option.
Lower Decks would have resolved the issue by now. You're not wrong, Overtired.
Man, what a shame we don't get a Lower Decks film.
We did. It was called Crisis Point.
We got 2 of them.
Exactly. But what could you want? Listen, physical comedy always wins.
Uh-oh, the Lord of the Rings orcs are here.
Yeah.
Fresh meat.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
What about his arms? Doesn't he those? Actually, I think that's the same actor.
Oh my, I think it actually is.
It fucking must be. Yeah, look. Fucking hell.
See, those attacks always baffle me because it's like it's not like I teleported; it's just a holographic thing. You see, I expect very heavily into my holographic decoy skill tree.
Yeah, it's funny when you start like specking people into D&D characters, it all kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Sophia Boutella? She seems like she was going to be everywhere and then just didn't.
Look, we canonized the weird little squiggles.
See you later, Buddha.
I have a go on, Boot. See, I don't mind Simon Pegg as Scotty, but it's like when he was like trying to like square up, I was like, one of the advantages of Jimmy Doohan being like a war veteran was that he bought him as like a threat.
Yeah, when he fights the Klingon in the bar and Tribbles, but
yeah, like I believe that guy can lay out a Klingon. I don't believe that of Simon Pegg's guy.
I think the
all.
difference between the guy that's playing Scotty now and Simon Pegg is the problem is I know Simon Pegg too well. I've seen him in too many things.
Yeah.
That's always a problem
Yeah.
for me. Like Chris Pine, I've never seen Chris Pine in anything, so...
Yeah. My CD player, it is fucked. Classic.
Yeah.
It's nice to get a little bit alien life.
Strange new world.
I mean, I know it's no little weird little goober from Insurrection, but...
Oh god, I'd forgot about those.
Yeah, it's so pointless.
He needs to get back on board to delete his browser history.
Honestly, you and me need to shut up. Dan has all the good lines.
No, it's little enough, and that's what's good with Dan.
You're not wrong.
Just bring in a banger and then leave.
What? I thought we were doing adjectives. Good tea, nice house.
They're in the Ewok village.
Oh my god, they are. Fucking Yub Yub's gonna start playing any minute. Just had to do it the most dramatic way possible. That's that Vulcan wit.
His brain's gone.
This is the way.
Yeah.
I do love her house.
Mm-hmm. Franklin.
I love the Franklin.
It's great. Really jonesing for coffee.
If I don't get my Rectagino, I'm gonna get real cranky.
Hot cup of Tribble.
Plot twist: someone had a Tribble on board that hadn't been like neutered, so like it's gonna take over this ecosystem in a few years.
Speaking of hot tribbles,
in your area. So you said it as a joke, but I do legitimately think the Order has unmuted.
He does. I can tell you that, Aaron.
Damn it, we should have filmed this before we trashed the set.
I think Otto's completely tuned us out and is just watching First Contact again.
No, I muted the other two, but you're unmuted, Dan.
Oh, good. Yes, I mean,
fair.
It's just the Star Trek Timeline Toast Draft.
Thank you. I like to imagine this was Simon Pegg just like looking at a lot of other scriptwriters like, this is where you give secondary characters something to do. And Beverly Crusher is just in the corner like, yeah, I wonder what that's like.
You're showing me up, Dan. My cats are snoozing on the bed instead of hugging me.
Yeah, this one's been sleeping all day. She's finally up. All right, buddy. Wake up there. Do you like Star Trek? Not really.
We need a Spot episode. We haven't had a Spot episode yet. We need a Genesis, I think.
Okay, good. The Empire Strikes Back Hoth base.
A little bit.
Well, excuse me,
Love that
princess.
base. Then I'll see you in hell. Oh no, he's a master hacker.
He got the Enterprise schematics. He knew exactly where to break off our spindly little bits to disable the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, he just does the Spock point. They knew exactly where to hit us.
I like that shot.
Hmm.
Fool me once. Come on.
That's a really good bit of clever writing. I remembered that. And Powell even gets something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Man, everyone's such a bad shot.
Yeah, real stormtrooper energy.
Yeah. If I forget if this rips off Prometheus or not in what happens in the next 5 minutes.
What's Prometheus? 2012?
Yeah, 4 years before this.
Yeah. A little bit, but I'll give it a pass.
I mean, to be fair, I think it manages to pull off what Prometheus tries to do seriously and only managed to comedically.
Yeah.
Music got really epic for them just running away.
Nothing's more dramatic than cardio.
Yes. Nope.
The Wheelie Lunchbox.
Come on.
Yeah, this bit's cool as fuck. Lighting almost reminds me of like Third Encounters almost.
I don't think I've ever
like when
seen
it gets
that.
to the exterior shots.
Yeah.
Must keep running. Must keep running.
I mean, it should be stronger than that, but fine.
Well, it's already been weakened by the impact
I
of the
know.
planet. I'm fine with that. Yeah, this is a cool bit. Like, it's very action movie-esque, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's cool.
I think it's just you have to have that. You know, when you're watching the Kelvin film, there's going to be a film element to it.
Okay, so they somehow didn't break every bone in their body from the drop there.
If you got Justin Lin as your director, you're going to have your hero slide across the hood of the car at some point.
True. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got Prometheus.
Guys, I don't think you're thinking about the environment much here.
I mean, to be fair,
didn't this happen in LA once?
Not quite. Meanwhile, back on a Star Wars prequel movie set.
This over time, they have future space bones.
Future space bones. He only took down the sets to make room for the art to show copium. Buddha, oh, that's beyond copium.
Oh, God. I was born to the darkness. When was... That was 2012, wasn't it? Batman...
Dark Knight Rises?
Dark
Yeah,
Knight
that
Rises,
was...
Yeah,
that was 2012.
Yeah, this is Bane energy.
I hate multiculturalism.
Okay, a little bit on the nose.
A little bit. I mean, 2016, I can kind of see why they might have gone for that message. I didn't even realize there were crewmen there.
Yeah. Now you do. It's a nice body horror. You are not Kirk.
It's such the best time to have this conversation, surely. Yeah, it kind of postponed the Vulcan Stallion news.
R.I.P. Nimoy.
Yeah.
Just 2.
That's more than most.
True. Less than cats.
Stop crying, Spock. Jesus.
He just said,
Stop smiling, Spock. What is this?
Quick, smack him. He's having a positive emotion.
That's such a Shatner line.
I want that Chekhov as my Bucky. He's such a good sidekick to to
Yeah.
Kirk. I'm glad
Yeah,
they
he's
get
a good
these scenes.
sidekick character. He doesn't get to do that as much. How many beats and shouting out of 10, Dan?
That's also how I like my UFC fights.
You know, it's a good thing her traps aren't lethal. That would really suck. Got a lightsaber out. He's gonna twat it.
Oh, I like that TOS sting.
Ow.
Wow, right on the rock. Oh, the little hug. That's cute.
She has good timing.
Everyone calls him Jim. Balthazar Edison.
Now there is a bit of
That's quite a name.
It looks like the interior is made of poured concrete.
Well, yeah.
Looks like an overpass.
I do remember those from the Roddenberry archives.
Yeah, there's a bit of timeline skew-wiffery, but you can explain it away.
Well, it's fine. It's far from the only this entire series just has so much timeline fuck up.
Yeah, it's not too bad. You could just say that
yeah,
the Federation was when they renamed it to USS after being a Mako ship, but yeah.
Yeah.
Shuttle pod.
Look at those Enterprise uniforms.
There it is.
We had to justify the bike somehow. Enough about your motorcycle fetishism. I do find it a bit odd that a ship would have that hatch. I suppose.
Well, old school. Yeah.
Some kind of.
You can tell Simon Pegg wrote this because all his lines are just comedy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you don't really get a serious Scotty in this movie. I think you get a bit more of an Into Darkness, oddly enough.
I know this ship like the back of my hand. Dong.
Well, I don't know if we want that to be the bar we set for Scotty.
Yeah.
TIE fighters.
Sounds like pod racing.
Does actually, yeah, the Bunta Eve. Don't worry, the fix have already covered that.
Hey, Naima.
What we got back didn't live long. I have some band-aids. They're expired, but I have one Care Bear sticker. And in our movie trailer lines.
What we've always done for the past 2.5 years.
Yes. It's literally only 100 years old. You'll be fine.
This is a jar of eels for some reason.
It would be hilarious if it was Flox's like medical supplies.
Death Storm. That's a good name for a spa.
Is he drunk?
Kinda. The flux capacitor. Jesus Christ, overtired. You need to start writing some television shows. Oh my god, it's a face hugger.
Face hugger. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ew.
A little bit gross, but you know. Alien bits would be like that.
Just keep it in your bra like everyone else.
Yeah, no one would ever touch there.
I still don't know what this thing is. I think. Yeah, I wonder if it's. I think it's his first mixtape.
It's the Epstein files. Come on.
Oh, gosh.
No, it's clearly a Power Rangers morpher. He's gonna just like go morphin' time. Triceratops. Mastodon.
Go ahead. Keep going. You gotta do all 5.
I forget the other ones. Like pterodactyl.
Saber-toothed tiger.
Saber-toothed
tiger.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. Let's be real. It's all about the dragon flute.
Excellent jackets.
They are very cool looking. It's Formula. Well, there's a Vulcan vegetable right there.
Get out of it.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Rolling them so much. Yeah. To be fair, there's probably so little vodka you could trace people using it in this.
Of course.
With motorcycles.
Yeah. Yep. We have to justify it somehow. Absolutely love her design.
Yeah.
Let her go. Only I get romance plots. Would say Shatner.
Ooh. Don't talk down to her.
Impossible.
Was she drunk a lot?
Yes, probably. I know we've known you for like 5 minutes, but... This actually plays D&D every night.
By herself. She'd
Got a miniatures, yeah. It's a good thing this thing still has power after 100 years.
Nuclear.
I want to be included. Also, I have top billing.
Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We had to justify a motorbike sequence somehow.
That was an awful effect shot, by the way.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, it looked weirdly shimmery. I'm not sure why.
It was rushed.
Just like how good everything else looks. Well, everything else looked fine.
Yeah, we've seen this. Yeah, we did that before. There's round things, we cut to round things. Okay.
Transition cinema.
Who are these ancient ones? Are they in the room right now? This is the freaking thing from This is the Tok. What's it called?
Tok Utat.
Yes.
The Vulcan Stone of Gaul is what you're
Yeah.
thinking of.
Oh yeah, that's it.
You know, the super weapon always comes in pieces, no
Always.
matter what the show.
Well, technically, it comes in 3 pieces. You have the 2 pieces of the weapon, and then the 3rd piece is exposition.
The 3rd piece is Layla Multipass.
And the 4th element is love.
Heart.
Look at that chin.
Yeah, no, I was just like a fucking spoon face.
Oh, Troy's here.
Oh, that's why they kept her. And I was like, why did they keep her in? She already delivered the plot device. I don't.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we need a sacrificial lamb to demonstrate the severity of the plot. No, they're releasing the Prometheus black goo.
Yeah.
That's nice. They designed a Pandora's box that also has a suck feature.
Correction, sir.
The
That's
suck
blow.
and read the blow. Yeah.
Why have they got the crystalline entity there? Now we're playing Star Trek Online. You just summoned your red shirts to come in and fight for you on the away mission.
I was going to say we're playing that really shitty 2013 tie-in game. We'll play that one day.
Yeah, I need to get a PS3. I've got the game, but I don't have a PS3.
Yeah. Like, how is that still available to play, and yet Star Trek Resurgence isn't?
Well, got it on disc, that's why.
I think I saw the scene in Little Rascals.
She's so cool.
It's so distracting because of how Star Trek it is.
Yeah.
I'm distracted.
I'm taken out too.
He looks like a Vardoir.
No, you know what he looks like? He looks like a fucking vulture.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, that's incorrect. You know, it looks like every sci-fi villain race ever.
No one saw her?
Just starts doing the same Private Ryan sniper sequence.
Everybody's mean mugging a lot in this movie.
They know it's the last one they'll get.
I like the kind of broken transport. That's kind of cool. Kung Fu.
Time to have our prequel fight.
Yeah.
This is Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Maul.
It's not quite that good. That's pure cinema.
Wow, they caught you napping there, Spock, didn't they?
Oh boy.
How romantic.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was that?
It's a wrestling move. You wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't.
Have you watched Insurrection yet?
It's
Not
better
yet.
If... No.
That's on the cards.
That's too good of a movie.
I think that's coming up on the next draft.
I'll fight you for it. Actually, picking Insurrection would go against the spirit of the draft because, like...
What? Why?
Because if I don't want it, then you guys will take it, and then therefore I can free up something I want more.
Oh, right.
So, you know.
Interesting. What could you want more?
And then that means I still get to watch it and enjoy it and review it quite well.
But you didn't get the points. The points!
I don't do it for the points, I do it for the love of the game.
Wow.
There sure are a lot of like generic goons running around.
Yeah, the baddies are not developed in this film at all.
Rum rum. I have to say, as like a concession to the action bullshit and having a Fast and Furious director, it's not the most egregious it could be. It could be worse.
Yeah.
I think it'd be funny if a hologram Kirk came up against the real Kirk and they had to figure out who was who.
Yeah.
Must be your lifelong ambition.
Higher than the other guy's head.
Spider-Man's pointing. Yes.
Shoot that one.
Yeah.
Can't you tell the real Kirk?
Can't believe I kissed you.
I feel like there's like 3 final fights in this film.
There's a fair few, yeah.
Like bacon?
I could go for some bacon right now.
Mm-hmm. Kapow, kachoo, kafa.
Watcha! It's not the most thrilling flight choreography I've ever seen.
It's fairly dull.
Did they even kill the other guy? Like, it didn't look like that much of a drop.
He'll be fine. They bounce, apparently.
He just, like, kind of looks up and shakes his fist. Kind of would need, like... Okay, sure. Break the laws of physics. That's no good. The space fart is going there. Some kind of biohazard? Are these residents evil?
We're gonna...
Why not? Have you never been in a movie before, Mr. Scott?
Yeah. Sulu gets the good seat.
So where do they get... Yeah. Where did they get antimatter from?
Don't worry about it. In fact, they swept some up from behind the bus art collectors.
Yeah, clearly.
For a wide lift. I feel like this was the era where we saw this kind of thing happen, like something diving off a cliff and then recovering at the last second. Like, it's been done so much.
Well, I mean, it's also in Goldeneye, so which is like 1985. So
That's
it's
right, yeah,
just
opening scene.
it's just kind of a trope, really. I do like the take on the NX-01 style bridge and design philosophy.
Yeah.
I suppose. You know, the sheer amount of ecological damage to this poor planet.
I know.
Oop.
I've been on this ride.
Really hope the inertial dampeners are working. Otherwise, it's just going to go splat.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get to 88 miles an hour.
You're going to see some real shit.
Real serious shit.
Yeah.
Oop.
Oh, hi. Hello.
It's like the reverse Timeless.
A little bit. Just play it in reverse and you get Timeless. Well, we lost one ship, but we gained another. I'm sure Starfleet will be perfectly happy with this.
But look what we found. Captain's log.
You know, it would have been funny to have a captain's log right there.
I seem to have lost my ship, but I found another one.
I'm sure Starfleet will look upon this most favorably.
Enterprise, we never been to Enterprise before.
The bad news is, yeah, we lost the Enterprise. But good news is we brought back 1,000 little ships too. So here.
Think of it like a Jack and the Beanstalk situation here. You gave me a cow, I gave you the Franklin.
Okay. Here we go. Right.
A little bit late to be calling Red Alert, but okay.
Yep. Here comes Cthulhu. It's also very strange that they had a starbase very close to this planet, but didn't detect anything wrong.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. With a ton of civilians on board too.
Yeah, the swarm has to be sub-warp, right? So...
Yeah, you'd imagine
We'll
there's
have
been
to assume,
maybe a couple of days has passed or something, but maybe not.
No, I don't think that's...
No, maybe not.
Ooh, spatial torpedoes.
Grapplers!
In English, please.
Yeah.
go on away missions, don't you, buddy? You just want to get Bones in trouble now. Remember, you're the queen.
That old chestnut again.
Yeah.
What was that music?
Oh.
Even the swarm rides with a motorcycle. They got to get in the motorcycle position.
Cyberpathic. It's a new word for me.
Cyber telepathic, I guess.
Yeah. Techno wizards.
This is pure Star Trek here, with them all iterating to their expertise.
Hmm.
Somebody get a copy of Weird Al's movie.
Yeah. This is so forced, but whatever.
Yeah.
I do appreciate he has like little joysticks, just like Mayweather had.
Mm-hmm.
Pew 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 pew.
Tech wave.
Yeah, tech wave and attack wave are very different. The subtitles really fall apart when they're trying to do Chekhov's dialogue, especially.
This is
Chekhov's.
This is her on
I think they start singing at this frequency, don't they?
You're on Franklin Radio. Bringing you Beastie Boys and Old Boys.
Breaking wave. That's the tech wave.
You see, this is why we can't stream, because of like this. Like, no, even barring all the copyright stuff, this would have a massive like flag.
I've always said the Beastie Boys would save the galaxy.
They also did in Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy.
I suppose they did.
As I think I found the exact point when the movie sabotages itself.
Well, it kind of recovers, I think.
It's even like a fucking wave.
Classical music. It's very silly.
I like the cast of all the schlubby people they put in charge of Yorktown's ops.
They're all working admin.
Yeah, very relatable.
His weapon of mass destruction. Yeah, see, I think this sequence is really fucking cool.
Like that.
You can't polarize the whole plating anymore.
Use the grapplers. No, it's the fuzz.
Yeah, I forgot they had dumb little police ships. It's so stupid. It's a good thing we don't have money in the future, or otherwise there'd be a lot of property damage.
That was a shot that just got me going.
Yeah, no, like, do we really have like time to be asking these questions? It's like just like kind of an emergency situation here, bud.
I feel like there's just too many skyscrapers. Like, what do people do in those?
They live. They listen to Beastie Boys. They listen to the Beastie Boys.
Anyways, you can't have a car. So
it's true. Oh, yes, too.
Hulk smash!
There she goes.
Oh, you're breaking up
See
a bit,
that?
Dan.
Sure.
Or is it me?
Yeah.
As long as you guys can see.
It's fine.
I think we might have lost these guys. Oh, you guys are back.
What have we
Hello.
lost?
You guys back? Did you get
Hello.
the... Hello?
It's been solved the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here. Don't worry.
Oh,
You're
okay.
all
You
good.
guys just dropped
Don't
out for
worry.
me for some reason, but as long as the video still played, we're fine.
It's just your hallucinations.
Oh, good. I was getting worried there for a minute.
Oh, they're back. Yes. Do you mean Captain?
Captain, I've been to the gift shop.
Man, that's a TOS shot, though.
There we go. Oh, hello, kitty.
Be funny if they were using phase pistols.
gotta, there we go. I was gonna say we gotta use that enhanced trick from.
Swing the camera around. Yeah.
Wasn't Balthasar Edison Franklin one of the founding fathers?
Might be. See, this is what I mean. Where it's like, yeah, it does sabotage itself with the Beastie Boys thing, but I do enjoy this twist a lot.
Oh, that's right. I remember this. He's Khan, isn't he? That's good. That's a good one.
He was a Mako.
I got a kitty.
You got a cat.
Exhaust vents.
I do think they very much do waste Idris Elba in this movie.
Drastically.
I love how they keep filling the back of his head. That's great.
Yeah, why can't we just turn the air off? What's that Futurama line? You know, oh, like all the air coming out of a balloon. I do appreciate Shoot first, ask questions later. He sounds like a Discovery Klingon.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cindy. Judo chop.
Should get some double take really want.
It's my Discord being funky.
I'll take cases to try to avoid heuristic. No, that's what I'm looking for. $5 nice.
Overdone, you can see it right too, yeah. Discord being screwy with me.
Yeah, like a bloopers, like bad habits. Exactly Overdone. You remember the lines better than I do.
Oh, there we go. You're back.
Lost the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I lost the movie too.
Oh, I lost title.
Oh, hang on.
Cool. All right, we'll be acting out the remainder of the movie. Okay, so.
Hello, I'm back.
I'm so angry. I used to be a soldier, but somehow I lost my morals for no reason on this planet.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
All right, we're back.
You're back. You're back. You haven't missed much.
I think I did fill in the gap, honestly.
That was the most interesting part of this final third, I gotta say.
I do think that was the shot of the glass following the slipstream is cool.
This is an unnecessarily long film too. This is like we could have
There's a lot
done
of
things by here.
A lot of walking.
One extra part too many, I think.
No, not the world's worst fart bomb.
Da, 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 da.
Wait. Yeah, no, we really should just have a classic TOS fight here, really.
I think the most unrealistic part of this movie is that Chris Pine could beat up Idris Elba. Like, come on.
Poor seals. What are they trying to build?
The Omega-13.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Can you not just transport him out when it's done? Like that. Why are transporters not operational? Oh, because like that would make this easy, I guess.
Also.
No, we got a ticking clock.
Yeah.
And a stuck lever.
Oh, it's the card intro.
Yeah.
Well.
Whoopsie doodle.
Whee!
Whee! Yeah, this would be a pretty fun little ride to go on.
What, the getting sucked into the butthole ride?
I mean, is that not what every water park is? Have I been lied to? Oh, hey, Spock, I forgot you were in this movie.
Ta-da! Die.
Like he did in the previous movie. Oh, wait.
Mm.
Don't worry about it.
No.
Oh, he's dead. Anyway.
So the super weapon's just their new neighbor now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just out in space. Well, we cut out that for like a lot of this last third, I think.
Now all the space are belong to you.
Looks like it got stung by bees.
You got numb tongue?
Bees Jayla was talking about.
Well.
So he learned what it took Kirk like 4 movies to learn in the course of one. All right, a lot of Vulcan stuff. That's the recipe. That's how you make really good plum soup.
Plum soup, yeah.
It's a cigarette case.
Really spicy.
Stolen valor.
So you can tell it's Undiscovered Country because of all the silver in Michelle Nichols' hair.
Dude, actually, they missed the opportunity to put this cast in the Monster Maroons and age them. That would have been interesting.
Everyone dressing like they're from 2016.
Yeah. Bones has got his Paul medallion on.
Yeah. It's nice to see that Uhura still has her tracking device. In case we lose her. My bold cut found that most engaging. I am all edge. Don't worry, if you just like have a movie, they'll promote you from cadet to captain.
It's meant to be Paris, not Harris.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
We're looking at the giant space wedgie, of course.
I like this bit.
Yeah, this is cool. Bit of Starship Born.
Where do they get the bill?
Whee! Do a spin! Try spinning. That's a good trick.
That is a good trick.
Do a
I do
barrel
love
roll.
it. Could you wait this credit roll for a little bit? Because if I recall...
There's no post-credits in this, was there?
No, there's no post-credits, but there's a really fun little gag.
Oh, isn't it the
right
hand?
now. Yeah, the giant space hand.
Yeah.
I love seeing that giant space hand.
Jeffrey Chernov.
Which is also just a really good score. Which we need to fill for time because Auto has gone to go to the Lewis.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
A star woman teaches.
Yeah, write lyrics for this, Roddenberry.
Honestly, if anyone could write lyrics from Beyond the Grave to this, it would be Roddenberry.
Star Trek, Star Trek, Star Trek, Star Trek.
I'm curious if I could look up like a version of the main theme done with the lyrics that Roddenberry proposed. I bet you it's terrible.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, actually,
it is.
So they who does it in his live show? It's Jack Black with his group.
Oh, really?
Does, and he does a fantastic cover of it. It actually works. Like I didn't know that the lyrics could actually fit the music, but he makes it work. So yeah, look at that.
Okay, cute.
Genesis Forbidden.
Tenacious D, right? Is that his band?
Yes.
Yeah, there's the hand. There it is.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
That planet's got a hole in it.
It's shaped like a donut. See, there are very two different schools of joke going on there.
Oh, a sneaky shark production.
Sneaky Sharky?
Hey, that's me. Wee. To infinity.
So, I think we're finally beyond it. Okay, great.
Okay. Fantastic.
We got beyond Thunderdome.
We did, finally. After all these years. We'll wait for Otto to come back. I think he's gone to go contemplate and go, maybe we should watch Into Darkness. Like, no. I can get my notes up while we're doing that.
We were supposed to take notes? All right. I'll wing it.
All right, let's do... where's the button? Where's the button? Oh, I need to press this button. Let's do this. Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Star Trek, Trek. We have finally gone beyond the Prime Universe and into the Kelvinverse, and we have reviewed Star Trek Beyond, which, Dan, this was one of your... when you finished having your lunch, this is one... It's a very edible kitty. This was your draft pick, and you picked the first of our Kelvinverse, because we've not reviewed the Kelvinverse film. Auto's not watched it before. What made you pick it? Why did we go as deep into Kelvin as you can be?
Yeah, so I talked about it a little bit. I had some good feelings around this movie, and I think this is my problem with a lot of the episodes that I choose is I have fonder memories based on who I saw them with and when I saw them and what they... No, this is a perfectly serviceable movie. It was a fine movie. It was pretty Star Trek-y. I think that I just wanted to give the new Trek franchise, the movie franchise, a little bit of love here. Certainly better than Into Darkness, debatably held its own with 09. So I think this is a fair watch. I had a good time watching it, especially with you guys. So I don't really have a whole lot of high praise or, after coming off of Duet and Best of Both Worlds, I can't say, oh, this is seminal Trek. It's a must watch, but sometimes it's nice to get out the popcorn.
Absolutely. Okay, Otto, as your first time watching this, what were your thoughts? Because I say we've all seen this a few times, and you were infamously like, I've not watched it, I don't know, let's see how it goes.
I'm going to quote Dan from our Corbinite Maneuver review.
Wow.
Oh boy.
We were all in on the drama, and that's great. You get that with any show. The only thing that made this Star Trek was I happened to be in a room with some flashing buttons on it. I think it was kind of derivative, a lot of the Wild West, Bonanza, Gunsmoke shows, where it's just a charismatic leader trying to get his band alive from one day to the next. But I don't see a whole lot that set this apart. I think it was probably...
a review.
Probably a good action movie. I don't watch enough action movies to know what's good or not in that genre. It was pretty awful Star Trek. So if you're watching this for an action movie, I think it was probably above average. Star Trek below average.
Overtime says he's still not watched it. Okay, I'll just before I go on to me and stars.
Wait, hold on. Did you just turn on our stream for 2 hours, only us talking, and you didn't watch the movie?
He's an absolute trooper. Yeah.
Wow,
incredible.
Okay, so on the back of that, a quote that I pulled off Memory Alpha. The alternate reality film franchise had started to cause a rift between the old guard fan base and newcomers to the franchise, with the former expressing their reservations about the alternate reality reincarnation, especially for its lack of, quote, the Roddenberry factor, as Star Trek production staff veteran Doug Drexler put it, but which was present in Beyond, courtesy of director Justin Lin, writer Simon Pegg, making it the trio's best received by the old guard fan base, whereas newcomers on the other hand flocked to the first two action-packed films precisely because it was fast-paced fun and in line with similar fare offered to them by other franchises which cater to the current taste of contemporary cinema goers, being coined as fun popcorn movies by former Star Trek production staffer Roger Lay. They apparently deemed Beyond as too Trekky for their tastes, which is a weird counterpoint. Stars, how did you find this on a rewatch?
So I think this is maybe the second or third time I've seen this now. It kind of is exactly as I remember it, where it's a case of I like I said, I never had the strong positive, Star Trek is back reaction with 09, and especially not with Into Darkness. I remember liking 09 a fair bit. I didn't go back to rewatch it. If we ever draft that, I'll probably have worse memories of it. Although I poke fun at half the plot holes without needing that. I think this is absolutely the most Trek of the three, but I think that's a really low bar. Because if you compare, like, I'm thinking of like any of the TNG or any of the TOS movies, and this is very much lacking in anything like their degree of philosophy. Like First Contact, when we watched it, it is such an action movie. There is so much horror. There is so much there are popcorn lines, right? But then there are like long conversations about like the nature of humanity and the end of capitalism and revenge and the betterment of mankind, right? And the most that this can offer is, well, this one guy in Starfleet went kind of crazy and it's also kind of boring in space. It's better than I'm Khan and I'm evil, or I'm Eric Bana and I'm evil. But it's just, I don't know. I think that there's a conversation to be had about Star Trek movies where it's like the Wrath of Khan's success codified the idea that they need to have an antagonist, and if the motion picture had been more successful and better achieved, we would not have the fixation on being the next Khan, right? And I feel like that's what they
did it with Nemesis, didn't
Nero.
Yeah.
Nero, Khan 2.0, Shinzon, and Arafa. They always want a Khan figure. They always try and hit that note in varying degrees, and you're never going to replicate that. So maybe stop trying.
They won't.
And it just, it's such a shame because there's inklings of a really good villain here. I think that Krall is like a really good setup for a villain, but as much as I appreciate the restraint of keeping the reveal of his identity until like the last 20 minutes, it also doesn't give you a lot of time to grapple with it and really delve into it and develop it further. It's just sort of like a moment, which I guess appeals to the popcorn crowd. But as a Star Trek fan, especially one who's really happy to see stuff like Mako and the Xindi being brought back into this continuity, you're like, okay, and then just Kirk and him have a fist fight and he dies. And it's just a bit disappointing. And I think that's the main problem I have with the movie. Like, the action movie trappings, again, I don't think it's nearly as egregious as the other ones. I think that the character moments are, for the most part, on point. It's very well produced. The music is great. But the villain lacking substance is a real killer, I think.
And it was there, right? All of it was there. He was wronged by the Federation. He wants to get revenge. That's fine. But it was all compressed into a single monologue where he comically bangs his head into his desk, and we get like less than 30 seconds of time. You're right, to actually come to terms with who he is. And you said Idris Elba was wasted as an actor. Absolutely agree. He's capable of so much more. And hidden behind the prosthetics and this mouth breathing, brooding thing that he does for most of the movie to make him seem like an animal. But it did him a real disservice, and it was an incorrect choice.
Okay, so yeah, like echoing mostly what others said. Oh, no, I remember seeing it and yeah, enjoying it. Into Darkness, but rubbish. This film, I feel like sets itself up as something quite much more of a character play with the first third. Like the first third of this film, up and pretty much until the Enterprise is destroyed, is actually like I really enjoy it. It's kind of setting the pace. The idea that Kirk is a little belabored in space, finding his trials a little too episodic, as he says. Nice little sort of tongue-in-cheek joke there. And like you say, there's some really good character moments in this film and a lot of dynamics. I know you guys were moaning a bit about Bones in this, but I actually really enjoy Bones in this, and I feel like he does. I think this is probably Pine's best Kirk and Urban's best Bones in this film in particular. However, that's subjective opinion as it is. However, like as you know, we kind of get the stuff on the planet, and then you get a third act, and that's the point where I'm just like, okay, now we're into the Needless Hollywood territory, and you've got your, broadcast on VHF.
Sorry, it was a very clear 3 acts. You had the ship fighting, exploding stuff. You had planetside stuff, and then you had that last third, the make a plan and then execute it. Third.
Yeah, which is very Fast and Furious, if I'm honest. If you've watched any of the Fast and Furious films, they're kind of similar. It's a Justin Lin thing, and I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with the direction of it. I just felt like it was too. It's weird to say like I have too much. My bread is too buttery, my lobster too nice, or whatever the phrase is. But this was too long. You can only have 3 separate massive action sequences. One, the Enterprise being shredded to pieces, huge CGI effect. The second one, the rescue from the planet with the motorbikes and the alien goo, massive action sequence. And at the end, with the huge, kind of too much Yorktown. That sort of strays to the less believable side of the Star Trek universe, and having that final fight there, and it's like too many big set pieces for what is supposed to be started off as something a bit more introspective. Like, I feel like you could have had that great contrast between, I think what they tried to do as well is have that contrast between Kirk's sort of waning interest in the sort of the monotonous of space to Krall's already denial of it, and there could have been a better Kirk Khan character moment there, but they kind of decided to sort of hand the notes to the marketing executives and went, no, this is too much like Star Trek, make it simpler, stupid.
You're right, they kind of had things backwards, right? You got your mano-on-mano battle between Krall and Kirk at the very end of the movie, where they would have had a chance to trade some dialogue. No dialogue on that scene, just punching and cutting each other up. And they destroy the Enterprise at the end of the first act. Like, I guess he was trying to do something different, but yeah, things just seem ass backwards.
I think it's a case of like I don't. A lot of the choices taken in isolation make sense. Like, I think that blowing up the Enterprise in the first third is a really cool gut punch.
I'm not against that.
And it really and it sells the stakes of the movie, right? Like, this is a villain who can take out the Enterprise in the first act. Okay, pay attention, right?
Can I cut in real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I have a question for you three. Sorry, it's related to what you said.
You go for it.
Do these movies, what happens in them, have less weight to you because it's an alternate universe? Like, do you care less if the Enterprise is exploded or if someone dies? Or do you treat this as, these are our TOS characters and it's all the same to you?
My answer to that is slightly complex in that it's not the fact that it's an alternate reality per se that stops me caring. It's the fact that I've not spent any time with these characters. Like, there's a problem often brought up with like the Daniel Craig movies where like the first 2 Bond movies specifically, where they go from really, really young recruit Bond to over the hill tired Bond over the case of like a third of a movie. And like, 09 and Into Darkness spent so much time with Kirk and Spock at each other's throats, so much time with interpersonal drama and shit blowing up, that like I don't really buy that they have this deep bond that makes them some kind of glue for the Federation. And it's like, while I appreciate the character work of like both of them struggling with wanting to leave Starfleet but feeling like they owe it to one another, it's like I don't buy that relationship for this version of the characters like I would for the TOS characters. Like I've seen the TOS versions over 79 episodes. I buy they had that kind of dynamic. I don't buy that these characters had that dynamic because it's a movie and I've only seen 2 of them, you know?
I feel it's kind of the same with like the destruction of the Enterprise. Like destruction of the Enterprise in Search for Spock, is an absolutely devastating move because you've been with this ship not just for the 3 series but for the 3 films as well.
It's 60s, yeah,
it's huge. But the destruction of the Enterprise here is, and again, I'm not complaining about it. I think it's a really cool sequence, and it's kind of devastating in a way, but we haven't spent any time on this Enterprise, and when we have, I mean, grateful for this film for actually cutting it out, but it's been through a veil of lens flare. We don't know the capabilities, we don't know their decks, where's their do they have a recreation, do they have dolphins on board? It's the little things that make, like I said when we were watching the film, the ship is a part of the crew as well. It is part of the cast.
Yeah.
The starship you create for your shows is going to be part of the cast because that's the integral vessel that they're on. To carry through. So
I feel like the stuff at the beginning where Kirk is doing his log and you see the snippets of life aboard the Enterprise, they're trying really quickly to backfill that stuff that was not present in like the first 2 Abrams movies. And I feel like if this was like the 3rd movie in this style, I would care a lot more. But because it's like 2 Abrams movies that I like a lot less, and then this, it feels like there's like they want me to feel something I don't feel.
Yeah, and Fast and the Furious, the trope is like, oh, we're all family, right? So it keeps going on about that. And I think they try to do that here, and it doesn't quite gel. But I do have to give credit to the performances because I am invested in the characters because I think that each one of the cast does carry on a good amount of the spirit that I'm used to, and what I really want to see out of the characters. I really enjoy Pinus Kirk. We talked about him. Some of the other supporting cast, I think they took some creative liberty with. Chekhov being a little bit too exuberant, especially in the first film. He's just like over the top a little bit, but it's a choice they made, and that's fine. And these are supporting cast, and it's okay to let them shine when they have their moment on the screen. But yeah, I don't think it's not going through my head while I'm watching this movie that this is an alternate timeline and things diverged at the end of 09, and it really doesn't matter to me. I just want to watch a good Star Trek with my favorite characters.
Damar in chat asks, how did you feel when he finds out Prime Spock died?
It was kind of touching. It was nice to
I
sort
thought
of
it was
like
a good
have
little
that tribute to Nimoy, really, wasn't it? And when they have sort of the reveal of the cast, and it's a nice little tribute. And I kind of there's another avenue there to pay forward in the character moment for Quinto's Spock, and he gets a little bit of development with him going back to New Vulcan because his race got wiped out and he's got to think about that. And that was a nice character moment that actually didn't tie into the main plot, which was a bit unfair, really. Sorry, Stacy, go on.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct because like Kirk's stuff at least comes back with Kroll, and he has the big fist fight at the end. Spock's big moment is like helping McCoy fly a ship, and he doesn't really have like a big aha moment other than what would I do with that is Spock, and it's like it really diminishes this version of Spock in a way because in TOS and because of the unique dynamic that Shatner and Nimoy had, they are both 2 halves of a whole. Whereas this somehow managed to make Quinto just feel like an accessory to Pine, which I feel like was a bit of a... And it's not Quinto's fault, he's a good actor, but also, I'm going to be completely real. I spent a lot of this movie thinking about how much I'd rather watch Ethan Peck Spock, because I like Ethan Peck Spock a lot more. Maybe that's unfair, but that's how I feel. I thought it was, especially when I first saw it, I was like, that's a really sweet moment. And I can absolutely understand why that would hit Spock as it does. Like the idea that a version of you is dead and it's on you to take up his legacy. And do you follow his path or follow your own? Does it disrespect him if you follow your own? Do you disrespect yourself and, diminish him by following his path? Like, there's a lot of stuff that you could explore in there, but kind of just doesn't get picked upon, really.
All right, we've hit like 40 different points. Let me try to remember what I thought about some of them. One of my clearest takeaways from this movie was they should have switched Cumberbatch and Idris Elba. On one hand, you have a handsome, charismatic leader of men character with a physical component to him because of what Montalban did back in the day. And then in the other one, you have like this weird alien character who you don't really see until the end. And it's like, come on, switch the two.
No, you're right. No, you're super right.
Like, I know everyone's complained about, like, Khan wasn't from the right subcontinent or whatever. It's like, I think we're past all that shit. We're good with a black Khan, and Elba would have been a much better fit for that particular character. Point number 2 about this structure was ass. I hate to say. We get, all the relevant exposition is in the last quarter, but by then I had kind of checked out mentally. I'm like, all right, we've had like an hour and a half of action, and then they want to dump the exposition on us. I felt like it was like a 6-to-1 ratio of action to character moments. And, for what it is, fine if it's an action movie, but that's just not enough to hang your hat on. At least for me personally. We get like 3 minutes at the beginning where he said it's like a cage redux of Bones and Kirk reminiscing about something. And then the next 40 minutes was like the Enterprise blowing up. Yeah, it was very, there was some Galaxy Quest parallels in there. To me, the structure was not great for me. For me to buy in, you need to present clearly what the danger is, why we care about it, and then go ahead and address it. And I didn't really understand the device MacGuffin that she stored in her head, or why everyone turned into dust. I'm like, what's going on? And they explain it more toward the end, but by then,
it's the toxic. Like,
whatever.
That's pretty much it. That's all they say. It's essentially it's the toxic, this dangerous weapon. There you go. We're gonna go put it somewhere dangerous. And that's kind of really a disservice, really. But
yeah, it is wild. It is. I feel like this movie was a bit damned if you do, damned if you don't at that moment, because like the fact that we're decrying how little Star Trek it felt, and meanwhile people were saying that it's too Star Trek. Like it kind of just like highlights to me that yes, you can do Trek movies, but I feel like if you want them to work, they really just have to be reliant on. Like, you can't spring launch them the way they did 09 and stuff like that and have the same formula. This was trying to be more like classic Trek, but it's just constrained by the formula and the lack of history and just what it is. And I also want to talk about, this massively underperformed. And I don't think it deserved it. Like, I think that you're absolutely right, Otto, and it does kind of fall apart a bit the last like hurdle, especially because of the structural issues and all that. But I don't think it's like really, 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 really bad. I just think it's like it just doesn't rise above, as it were. And I think that it didn't deserve the failure that it got. Doesn't go beyond because of the delayed flop effect. And this is something that you see in music. This is something you see in video games. This is something that you see in movies as well. And it's the bad thing. Something bad comes out, and it does really, really well. Like I'm thinking of like Resident Evil 6. I'm thinking of Into Darkness. And like things where you just go too big,
Marvel,
and you salt the earth. And
the last few years,
we pick whichever like recent Marvel offended you most. With its vapidity. I think mine would probably be I don't know. Like I could probably pick a few. And Quantumania, for example. And it doesn't affect that movie, because it's riding off of the success of the previous movies. So Into Darkness had a lot of like boost coming from 09, had a lot of good feeling from 09, right? And it sucked people in, and then it was bad. Like Into Darkness is actually a bad movie. Like I would give it like maybe like a 2 or a 3 if I was being like charitable and objective. Subjectively, it's like a -5 for me. I fucking loathe that movie. But the problem is that the badness of that movie doesn't affect its movie. It affects the one after it, because the Earth, and you've made it so people don't trust your product anymore.
Yeah, and that's essentially what happened here, really.
Yeah, and it sucks, because it's like it makes this. I feel like it almost would have like justified to the people who are making the decisions of this is too Star Trek-y. Like, look, we tried to give you the Star Trek film you wanted, and it flopped. And it's like, clearly, we should do more of the action shit.
This is a Hollywood problem. This is a Hollywood problem, especially around 2016, or especially and even today to a certain degree. The films are blockbusters. Pre-COVID, it was a film that it has to be a blockbuster. It has to get bums in seats. Cinema is dying. We have to get the most amount of action and the most amount of money out of people. And this is 09 got away with it because it was actually it had a structure that paid homage to old Trek and had a villain that made sense and plot lines that tied into old Trek in the same way that actually didn't just go overwriting it. But after that, it was just like, right, Star Trek's a box office franchise now. They need to do box office film things in the same way that Marvel are doing, that DC are trying to do now, that the Fast and Furious is doing, that all these big blockbusters need to go and you need to see action. You need to see, no thinking, just plot line. Don't worry about the technobabble. They're just going to talk that out to you. And I think this is the biggest thing that suffers for this film, as well as the negative opinion of Into Darkness, is that it doesn't stop to think, what do people actually want to watch in a film? Because if this had come out and everyone had gone... I think when this came out, and I remember at the time, and like we said before, I didn't go and see this at the film because of Into Darkness. And if it had come out and then all the Trek fans came and went, no, they've turned it around. This is fucking amazing. But no one did that. People came out the cinemas and went, it was good. And it was like, they're like, oh, well, I can't wait to watch that later. And it was no like, oh, it's a return to form for Trek. There's no like, people going, it's a really philosophical thing. Things tied together. They've got it better. People just came out and said, it's good. You should go see it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, when you want social media presence for people going out to a night at the movies, they want the people to turn the cameras around and show what they watch. Not like, hey, night at the movies, and that's all they got. Yeah, nobody cared. Nobody cared about this. It didn't, and it was very safe, right? We talked about the structure of it, but it's a 3-act structure, very Sitfield playbook. It's all big action set pieces, and everything is very by the book. There's a few little flourishes that Justin Lin managed to put on it that made it his own. He does a great job of setting up these little threads and tying them all together throughout the movie and even in the end. And things are there. Everything is in the movie for a reason, and that's impressive. But it doesn't translate to being in a movie experience that you really want to talk about, as we're saying, in a third hour of our stream here. But
yeah, you're not wrong. So I want to go back to Kroll for a second, or Idris Elba's character, right? And I just like, it is so galling to me that you have this tremendously talented actor. And I don't know if it was like an intentional acting choice. I would kind of guess not, or if it was the direction or the script. But the idea that like you have this character, right, who has been so heavily transformed by his environment and quote unquote eating people, and he's unrecognizable. And then he's over the course of the movie, he becomes more and more human because he's eating a lot of humans, right? And you get to the end of it, and it's like, okay. They hide his face for like 2 shots for whatever goddamn reason, and then they show his face. It's like, okay, yeah, he's recognizable as Idris Elba now.
It's the Valve guy.
And then they proceed to let him deliver his big emotional monologue like through a mouth of marshmallows.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand the rationale behind it. Like, this is the big emotional crux of your villain happening. This didn't happen with Nero or with Shinzon or Khan or any of those characters. Like, guess what? I don't care if it's maybe more realistic that, like, he would be struggling to form words after all this time. Let the actor act, for fuck's sake.
I think
it's even worse than it was for, like, the Discovery Klingons, I feel.
One of the funniest things I found was when they kind of get to that big pinnacle moment and he's sort of like, Kirk's struggling with the box and that bit of glass sort of goes around, he sees himself and you think he's going to have this big moment of self-reflection, and no, he just grabs the glass and stabs Kirk in the leg, and I was just like, really? I was like, okay, right, fine. That was just like, we need to wrap this up. Okay, he's in space now, he's dead. Okay,
that
so...
was interesting. I thought the same thing. What was the purpose of doing it like that?
It was really strange because you saw the reflection of him in the mirror and you're thinking, oh, he's finally seen a reflection of it. It's hammy as fuck, but like you see.
Was that just to hammer home that he's actually evil after all, even though he was a Starfleet captain? Like, you don't need a full redemption, but why include that reflective moment and then not have him reflect at all?
Actually, fuck it, I'm just gonna stab you in the leg. Never mind.
Well, yeah, because he also just like I appreciate what Simon Pegg, who was the writer for this film, is trying to do, right? He's trying to like tie back into Enterprise, which is cool. I like a little bit of fan service, and it makes sense as the only Trek that is still in continuity with this, right?
Because actually, so Edison and the Franklin, that's canon to Prime Trek as well, because that all happened.
Well, presumably, or some version of it, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
They have a bullshit line in '09 about how changes in time would ripple backwards as well. It's so fucking stupid, whatever.
It's like the fucking...
But, like, whatever, like...
The bioregeneration
like
from Doctor Who, yeah, right.
He literally references the Xindi and the Romulans, right? And it's like, it's a really cool idea to pick on the point of, like, a lot of what Enterprise Season 3 and 4 was establishing. Like, remember in, I think it's the Season 4 opener for Enterprise, where Archer is talking to Hernandez, and he's like, I lost something out there, and I don't know if I can get it back. Like, that is a really interesting idea about the loss of innocence that comes from when your first steps into space are marred by blood.
It's such
and then
a
it
good
doesn't
moment.
go anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's supposed, you could have had your Wrath of Khan moment there, because Khan is, a human that is lost to his own superiority, whereas Kirk is struggling to work out his own, destiny in that film. Exactly the same here. Kirk is trying to struggle to work his destiny, and Krall has lost his way and wants vengeance, but you could have had... Again, with the self-reflection, you could have had him turn up on the Frankly. You could have had a space battle of some kind, and them talking to each other, and then have that moment where Kirk finds his destiny because he sees his reflection in Krall, but that just doesn't happen.
Khan was believable as the charismatic opponent and leader because his people actually followed him. All the people in the Botany Bay were there with him, and they trusted him. They knew him before. They follow him and trust him now. It's implied through the movie that Krall killed and Shang Tsung absorbed his crew because there was nobody on the planet. Everybody had abandoned this life-saving technology. And he said his crew was dwindling one by one. How else will he survive if he's not absorbing his own crew? So like the whole...
So that's something I wanted to pick on, right? So yeah, he mentioned specifically that only I and 3 of my crew are left, and I have to assume that Manus, who is like his like lieutenant, was like meant to be one of those other crew. He has no reaction when that guy dies, whatever, who cares? Which like adds to the incoherency of his like character. I didn't take it to mean that he and I didn't take it to mean that he was eating the rest of his crew. I was under the assumption that they were being killed by like the indigenous wildlife somehow, or like they were unable to survive as humans on this planet, and therefore they were. But then it runs into the other problem of, okay, so the Franklin crew gets stranded, and there's like a dwindling human supply of people, right? And then there's Krall, Edison, and then like 3 other people. Who the fuck are all these randos? Are they drone people? Are they robots?
I think they've got other ships that get lost in the nebula. I think that was implied so early on. Then they kind of scavenged some of them.
He doesn't have mind control technology, though. They have to be like cybernetic or something like that, because that's otherwise how would the psychosomatic whatever thing that communicates
psychopathic?
Why would they need pilots? So
it was just underdeveloped.
As an aside, Stars, whenever you say the phrase "I assume," I just get so angry inside because you love to do that, and it's like, okay, but you just gave us an over 2-hour movie. If we have to assume things at the end, then you didn't write it properly. You should have put those things in. No, I know. You love to fill in the blanks, and I hate to fill in the blanks. I want you to do it. You put in the work, and then I pay the money to buy your ticket. That's how it's supposed to work.
Do you remember for years?
Like what?
Let's go on.
Yeah.
Overtired has invoked Mystery Science Theater yet again by commenting "Manos, the hands of fate." I will borrow a line also. Should we repeat to ourselves, "It's just a show. We should really just relax."
Get off the show, Dan.
Sorry.
Do you remember like the last several years, me and you Stars have been glazing this film to Auto, but like, no, Beyond's great. It's not that bad. Now we actually sat and watched it. I'm a bit like,
okay. Let me
go on.
Let me be a little positive. I don't think we've been positive at all yet.
No.
I overall liked the character work of the TOS regulars. There's not enough of it, but overall I liked it. Kirk, Pine is a great Kirk.
Yes.
Some people say he's too Shatnery. I think he's just the right amount of Shatnery. Because like I've said before, you need the energy. And sometimes that expresses itself as copied mannerisms, but he doesn't do only a Shatner impression. He does a Kirk impression. He does it very well. My favorite was Spock in this. I typically don't like Quinto. In the past, I haven't. He's kind of grown on me over time. I thought the dialogue for him was excellent. It didn't always come across the best. Sometimes you can't be monologuing 8-syllable words while the ship is blowing up around you, that just doesn't work. But I thought most of what they gave him was great. The two parts I really liked. Yeah, Damar was asking about when he finds out Prime Spock died. Like that's going to be a big thing. They played it well. It was kind of a moment of respite in the in all the action that was going on. The other one I really loved was him talking about repopulating New Vulcan. That's absolutely a thing I could see the Spock character doing. Reminds me of Spock Amok, where he essentially leaves T'Pring behind because of his obligations to Starfleet. He has an internal hierarchy, and I believe that when Vulcan is in disarray and there's very few of them left, I believe that his top priority would be the continuance of Vulcan. So I liked that little element in there. For how little exposition they all kind of got collectively, he probably got the most, and I think he did well with it. And then the last one would be Anton Yelchin as Chekhov, who, again, is a little caricaturist, but super charming. There were one or two moments where I legitimately thought I saw TOS, Pavel Chekhov, like that exact character being played, and it was really refreshing. So I think my only big quibble would be Simon Pegg. He wrote all this comedy for himself because he is a comedian, and that's fine. But they've turned Scotty into a joke, not a jokey, a joke character, and I think that's continued into Strange New Worlds, which I haven't been a fan of his characterization there. But overall, I thought that was the strongest part of the episode, the characterizations.
Yeah, Scotty was a joke since the TOS movies, though. Him hitting his head and having that stupid romantic subplot with Uhura. So I think they took the piss out of him a while ago. And I want to back you up on your shout out for Quinto here, because he had an impossible job, right? He had to act opposite the true Spock. He had to hold his own in scenes with Leonard Nimoy, and he did that, and he's carrying on the torch pretty well here. So the one big problem I had in this movie, though, was Zoe Saldana. We were all excited for her coming into it. She's a big actress, and she's got a lot of street credit this time. Not only, and they set her up as being a very strong and motivated and capable officer in the first act, and then she absolutely disappears, and it gets taken over by Jayla, who is a nobody throwaway character, and now all of a sudden she's the one kicking ass and taking names, and we get absolutely nothing from Zoe, who is more than capable of doing it. She's shown her chops in Guardians of the Galaxy. She kicks a lot of ass, and carries that movie. And it's kind of a shame. That's where I really was looking for more out of this. It was just more out of her.
Yeah, with Uhura, like I feel like they kind of were hitting on to the right idea with stuff like her having the right ear to recognize Krall's use of the word frontier to link him to Edison. I feel like if I were rewriting this movie, I would just have a big chunk of the subplot be devoted to her decoding that and going through the history, and really making use of her linguistics, and also of just like Uhura's empathy, which I feel like Strange New Worlds has doubled down on to really a good effect. I really enjoy Uhura in Strange New Worlds. But yeah, you're completely right. She is very underutilized in this movie. Like, she has the first strong third, and then she just plays prisoner and basically is just there to look shocked when Krall does something evil to a character who has had maximum 4 lines. And then she doesn't even really... She plays a group part of the solution for the drone problem, but even then, even though that's a communications thing, she shares that credit with everyone else, and it's not really her thing. It's like even the VHF part, which you would think would be her revelation, is actually Kirk's. And it's like
boombox. Yeah,
exactly. Jayla again steals that moment. And it's like, I feel like they had the right instinct to trying to make it an ensemble piece, and I feel like pretty much everyone gets something to do. I think Sulu gets very little to do in this movie. But
he flies the ship.
Yes,
he flies the ship. He gets his good moment of you can fly this thing, right? Are you kidding me? So that's fun at least.
It was very Ortegas of him.
Yes, he flies the ship. But it's a case of in their rush to make it an ensemble and make everyone feel like a team, and maybe that emphasis on family and the group, which I think makes sense to appeal to Jayla's character. But and especially with the theme of unity, it makes the individual parts for certain characters feel like they come through less strongly.
I think, that's kind of where action movies suffer, and part of the reason I don't like them is because you can give everybody something, but what does the something mean? Does it further their character? Does it show their colors? If there's something as running and gunning or driving a motorcycle, does that tell me much about their character? And
So, yeah,
it felt ensemble in a way because Kirk was so de-emphasized through certain parts. I kind of liked him, like, oh, I haven't seen him in 10 minutes. Like, that's kind of nice that he had a little break there. But you got to give me something that says something about their character. Saldana's Uhura does make me appreciate what they did in Stranger Worlds much more. If your go-to button is put them in a relationship, well, then you can't think of what to do with that character. That's like their go-to. But she has music and family and language that she draws on in Stranger Worlds. That's makes the character feel real. Idle.
So when it's the strange dichotomy this film has, because it wants to be a Star Trek film and it wants to be an action film, doesn't it? And the thing is, when I think of I want to watch an action film, like I do like watching action films, but I turn my brain off. I watch the Fast and Furious and I'm just going to watch something that's just going to engage me visually. I'm going to go into symbol mode, but I'm just going to be entertained and have a little bit of a, just like, look at this cool action sequence. Appreciate the VFX and how cool things... They'll make no sense. Like, if you've ever watched that and studied a Fast and Furious film, that shit's just insane. But it is just pleasing to turn off and watch. You can't do that with Star Trek as well. You can't have moments to go, just forget about it, just watch, you're okay. You can have it to a certain extent, like the Enterprise being destroyed is an action sequence, you go, actually, okay, this is something that fits. But then when you've got Kirk riding around on a motorcycle and Jayla having a kung fu fight with a very large chinned Vordwar on top of a mushroom tent, it's not, it kind of takes you out a little bit. Okay, so this very belated, you already know who this was directed by Justin Lin, written by Simon Pegg and Doug Jung. Okay, a few little behind the scenes before we'll move on to Bread soon, because this was a long film. In August of 2013, so 3 years before the film was released, the writing partners of Jack Stentz and Ashley Edward Miller pitched to J.J. Abrams a story with an antagonist who was a more noble adversary, aka Balance of Terror, and then another Khan. There was also a Dyson sphere involved and a Lovecraftian menace to the galaxy. They obviously passed on that. At the premiere of Into Darkness, Damon Lindelof was hinted that the Klingons could declare war on the Federation and that Benedict Cumberbatch will return as Khan. However, thankfully Lindelof was not involved in the sequel. Simon Pegg then commented, and this was after the fact, the Robert Orkey script was a little too Star Trek-y. Avengers Assemble had come out and made $1.5 billion. Star Trek Into Darkness made $500 million. The studio executives were looking and saying, well, there's still $1 billion's worth of box office that we don't see. Simplify the script. So Pegg had to go back and say, well, we had to write it a bit more like a thriller, a western, a heist movie, and populate that to a Star Trek character so it's more inclusive to an audience that might be a bit more reticent. So you can kind of see the parts where they went wrong. They were looking for something and settled on less. Would you like a stupid fun fact that's going to make you hate someone in this film?
Always.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, so the character of Jayla, okay, you may know this one, I don't know if you do, was inspired by Jennifer Lawrence's portrayal of Ree in the 2010 film Winter's Bone. Pegg and Jung referred her by Jennifer Lawrence's nickname, J-Law. Jayla.
I don't hate that.
Okay, that's fine.
I know that you have your
Elnor.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. It was like, his name means Star Trek, but yeah, okay, that was all.
Yes, well, I don't care about that, and I don't care about this. Like, it's silly,
yeah,
but it's
this
whatever.
film was the second least profitable film in all of Star Trek. The most least profitable was Nemesis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nemesis.
Any further points before I open the local word?
No, you know what? When I think Nemesis, I actually think of fucking Mystery Men and Captain Amazing and Dr. Casanova. I fucking love that movie.
Casanova Frankenstein, yeah. Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking I love Jeffrey Rush.
Anyway. Yeah, I have a couple hits before we bread. Jayla, she was fine overall. She does the Terra Nova thing where, okay, I didn't quite get this part. So did she rebuild all the internals of the Franklin on her own? She found this crash ship, made it work again? Okay.
Yeah.
So she can do that, but her English is it's the Terra Nova English. Montgomery Scotty and called it her house. It's like, okay, you had to have read these technical manuals thoroughly enough to rebuild a fucking starship, but you have this broken English. I thought that was a little goofy.
I don't know. I've met engineers.
I thought, well, it was just like a cheap trick to give her more of an alien feel. I didn't exactly know where the budget went on this episode. I kept thinking about First Contact, another action movie who spent the budget much better. It spent it on physical sets that they were going to interact with, like the deflector dish or board prosthetics. I felt like the first third of this was all tracking shots of CGI exteriors of places we're not going to go to. I'm like, all right, well, they look cool, but how do they further the plot in any way? And then later when we get some really bad motorcycle effects, I'm like, okay, you could have touched this up. You could have used the budget here. And usually that stuff doesn't jump out to me. But if I see places where you should have spent your money and places where you shouldn't, I felt like that was not a great choice from them.
Okay, it's time to open...
Bread.
Bread, the moment in the movie that stood out to you the same way that Cisco saying bread just made no sense in Babel. Let's start with... hang on, let me have a think about this. I want to land on Dan for the finale, so let's start with... Stars.
You know what? It's a very minor thing, but it's something that really did stick out to me. The costuming. I thought the costuming and the makeup were really, really on par. In fact, above par in this movie. I love the take on the TOS uniforms, making them a bit more sort of like high at the collar, so that it feels a bit more like rigid, like military stuff, like a little bit. I liked the cool gray, away team jackets that they had. I appreciated like Jayla's like entire look. I thought that was a very cool, visually striking design. Crawl and that is a very boring design, but it's like that's one of those things where I feel like that's designed by committee. I think I mentioned during the watch-along or right before that this got denied the Oscar for best makeup to Suicide Squad of all things, like the 2016 one. And I look at characters like Syl, the ensign who got destroyed by the bioweapon. I'm like, really? That lost to Jared Leto's Joker? Really?
Do you think that the design team, design team just had Tuvok in there, like he's doing a refit of the Delta Flyer? Like, no, lose the tail fins, Mr. Paris.
I don't know, a few tail fins could have helped. And I just felt like it looked. I could see where the budget went, at least on the costuming. Like everyone looked good. I appreciated like this take on the TOS uniforms. I always felt like the like 09 and Into Darkness, they always felt a little bit too informal. I guess they were just very obviously like black t-shirt and then like gold or red or blue t-shirt over top. Like there was a kind of a casualness to them that I was like, so I like them tightening that up a bit. That's kind of what stuck out to me most, I would say.
Your bread auto.
My bread.
Krull's sidekick, who had the Squidward chin, the pointy chin, was so goofy looking. I guess that's what I'll remember.
Okay,
Madison's Hands of Fate, yes.
My bread is also an alien as well. It is the head crab lady who likes to keep dangerous artifacts in the back of her skull, but it's just the way it unfurled, literally like alien head crab, same like knuckles on the side of her head and everything. It was that was my bread.
Listen, if you had those, you'd never lose your keys.
I'd have so much jewelry.
Like an alternate Kelpian design or something to me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
Kelpie ain't. Dan.
So the stars already shouted out just the general costume and character design, but I want to specifically call out Sophia Boutella as Jayla. She has just an absolute striking character design, but more than that, the actress herself, and I saw her previously in Kingsman, and she had
oh yeah, she's the henchwoman.
But she was the lieutenant in that movie, and has a fantastic fight scene. And so something about her physicality is just so different and so alien and so menacing, despite her being like this 120-pound little French woman. And it's really an interesting contrast. And she stood out in the trailers to me. She made me want to watch more of her. And I kind of gave her shit for stealing from Zoe Saldana, but I didn't mind so much. She was really interesting to watch.
Okay. Let's go on to...
The best advice I can give you is to just be yourself.
You're the worst thing that ever happened to Zek. You're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Actually, that's the second best piece of advice.
In fact, you're the worst thing that ever happened to the entire Ferengi Alliance. Just stop saying that.
Best and worst moments of the film. Dan, start us off. We'll go reverse.
Okay. Best moment for me, I liked when they were just kind of mucking about the Franklin. It was just something about having a crew aboard a disabled starship and they got to improvise, and it brings out all the best that they can to make sure that they can get things off the ground, literally. And so I liked how everything slowed down and got quiet too. Like there wasn't a whole lot of action. Things weren't exploding. There weren't consoles exploding. They were just left to kind of just be their best selves and really come together. So, that felt to me like a punching up moment that they really needed to help us get on board and root for them for the last part of the film.
It kind of reminded me of it's one of those Star Wars scenes that, like in Hoth, where they all sit around and plan the attack on the Death Star or something. Or maybe just the way it was shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you need a beat like that. You gotta slow it down, and I think Lynn knew where to do that, and that was fine. Worst moment, I got a couple. I'm gonna have to go with motorbikes. Yeah, I don't get it. Justin Lin is all about the callback, and in this case, he's taken a deep cut to the very beginning of Star Trek '09. Obviously Kirk respects the motorbike, and here's a great opportunity for me to get some actual motor vehicle racing into my movie, albeit shoehorned in. The fact that it was just sitting on the bridge for some reason.
That was so weird.
But yeah, it was just it took me completely out of the sci-fi of it, and it just I didn't understand how the holograms work, how they disappear when they're shot. The whole thing just didn't make sense to me. Motorbike.
I actually kind of like the hologram thing. I don't know if you guys remember when we reviewed Drone, we said, okay, what could you do to make this 29th century Borg futuristic? I said, have them emit holograms to fight the other drones, and then they could fizzle out when they take damage or whatever. And they did this exact concept. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. I'll start my worst moment. You know what? I don't mind the trope of we can use this old technology to defeat these new baddies, but when it's just an excuse to get sabotage in it, that kind of takes me out. And they were very literal with the metaphor of surfing on destruction, and I just feel like there was someone just like, we need to put sabotage back in the film, how can we do that? And then they went backwards from there instead of trying to, and they came out with some sort of there was some technobabble jargon about how they're all linked on some sort of telepathic technological frequency, and I was just like, you can use technobabble fine, but it can't just be an excuse. It's got to be integral. That was just kind of weird. I don't mind Sabotage as a song, and it's fine. It's a callback to '09, but that was a little too on the nose for me. My best part, I'm just gonna go for the opening moments with Chris Pine's Kirk, because that kind of ascended him from, because we'd seen him in '09 and Into Darkness as kind of like the cadet or the inexperienced one, and we come in straight away, and with the first 10 minutes we go, this is Captain Kirk. This is Captain Kirk that's been on adventures, has been running the Enterprise, and is the captain, not just I've fallen into the chair, or I've been accidentally demoted and then promoted again, and I have to do this my scrappy roguish way. This is a guy who's got experience. This is a guy who's now embodying the person of being Captain Kirk, Starship Captain. And that he kind of really sold me on that, and just having those somber moments with him self-reflecting is probably going to be my best moment of the film. Otto.
Yeah, Pine's a great Kirk. He looks like him, he moves like him, he sounds like him. Very good.
Smells like him. What?
My worst.
Fresh scent of pine.
You can hang them from your rearview mirror.
Oh my god!
Rich
I have to
Corinthian
get a pine
leather.
freshener. I need a pine freshener. Okay, sorry, carry on.
I was wondering, how the hell did the Franklin get here? Scotty goes, there's a lot of theories. Certain of the Romulans captured by a giant green space hand. This far out, it's got to be a wormhole displacement. I'm like, that's so... You should have just said nothing. You're essentially having your script call out your plot hole, but then hand wave it away that it doesn't matter.
Lampshade.
And then a motorcycle. Then a motorcycle showed up. I'm like, okay, maybe you shouldn't explain it, because we're just gonna add random shit to make things look cool.
It's a motorbike. Don't worry about it.
If you don't have an explanation, just don't add one. It was such a lame explanation, but then quit adding weird shit. Anyway, my best part, you gave your girlfriend a tracking device? That was not my intention. McCoy goes, I'm glad he doesn't respect me. Line of the episode. Like, that made sense with their relationships and their history, and it was hilarious, and that was the best moment.
Stars.
So this is going to be a bit nebulous, but I think my best moment of this is it does the best job of, especially of the Abrams movies, of establishing a world of Starfleet. Like, there's a definite world of Starfleet that, like, it takes a lot of time to kind of like ingest through like the episodes, like, you know, the lore, but also just like the way things work and like the feel of it. And there's just like, you can tell that Simon Pegg is a massive Star Trek nerd, and he put a lot of like touches on there to make it feel like Star Trek. So like, even if like the cinematic contours around it are very much action movie, there is a Star Trek fan in there desperately trying to make it feel like an actual world in which Star Trek happens. So you have stuff like Commodore Paris, you have stuff like the Franklin, which absolutely fits within like the design lineage. You have like the Makos, you have the Zindi, and it's like, yeah, you can call it fan service, but I also just appreciate filling out this world. And like, if you are a Star Trek fan, it's just very recognizable language that communicates a lot more to you, and makes it just like, you can, I don't know. You mentioned also that I do a lot of assuming to fill in holes, and I absolutely understand the annoyance with that, because yes, it should all be there on the page. But I really enjoy filling in holes. That's part of that's just the kind of fan I am, and I'm never going to say that like
Brody.
Say it again.
Listen, if I see a hole, I'm going to fill it.
Wow, it's more villainous than Kral.
Yeah. And I also just appreciate like casual
Okay.
lines. Yeah, can you not? Casual lines like Scotty going like, well, we're Starfleet, we're not a military organization. And it's like, that in itself is a fun little debate that fans have had for 60 years about this franchise. And Scotty, in universe, as he should, it's just like, well, we're not a military. I don't know, I just appreciate little inflections like that make it feel like Starfleet, that make it feel like Star Trek, that make it feel like it is contiguous with the world, even if what you're seeing is still populated by motorcycles and bad villains. Guess what? My worst moment is a bad villain. There is so much potential here. Like, I absolutely think you could have done a Khan moment here. Like, he's even marooned on a planet, quote unquote, by Starfleet, and he has a total like absolute. His motivation makes sense, like in a twisted sort of way. After 100 years stuck on a planet, yeah, I could see this twisted logic forming, especially from someone who might have had psychological instability from working in the Makos, who's like lived in this world. But almost none of that is on the page. And guess what? Like I said, I'm happy to fill in a hole, but I haven't got enough polyfiller for all of this. It's just not there.
Is this a new brand?
They have too much time. What is the hole you want to be filled in this episode? There's just too much of a gulf between what the movie wants to be about and what it thinks it's about and what it actually is. Like, it wants to be a mediation on, the nature of man in the frontier and like the relationship between, humanity and civilization. And then none of that is apparent in the actual text. It's just stuff I have to draw on from disparate elements. And that is a massive failure, because Idris Elba is a good actor and you have him. I would be curious, Idle, do you have a word count for this like episode or movie?
It's gotta be way low.
Actually, yeah. Let me pull this up a second.
Tell me how many lines Kral/Edison has. I'm curious.
I can tell you.
It would feel low.
So it's not the lowest rated. It's not the lowest movie. It's got more words than Generations, Section 31, Wrath of Khan, First Contact, Final Frontier, Nemesis, Motion Picture, and Search for Spock.
Really?
Yeah. It's
wow.
It's not as well spoken as Undiscovered Country, Insurrection, 09, Voyage Home, or Into Darkness. Into Darkness has
I wonder
the
if
most
language is part of that.
Let me go to
and Kral/Edison.
Wait with me a second. I need to go to a
It
separate...
felt like the lowest word count because there's just like half-hour stretches
No,
of only
strangely
action.
enough.
I'm like, where are they getting all the dialogue in?
Hang on, let me scroll down. Beyond.
So that first third, really.
So Kroll. Oh wow. He has less words spoken than Sulu in this film.
He has one line.
He has 278 words.
How is that's okay? Check and see. Does Edison have a different word
Edison
count?
has
Please tell me
180.
he does.
Oh yeah, I wonder what the diff. Oh, must be Edison recorded. Kroll must be the villain, and then how this is logged is Edison is.
So if you add them together, does he still have lower than one of the main
He
principals?
does, yes, but not as many as Jailer, who gets.
Can you sort them alphabetically for us, please?
But yeah, it's like, guess what? I bet you if you look at the Wrath of Khan word count, I bet you Khan has a lot of fucking lines because he has to. Guess what? I had not seen Space Seed for like the first 20 times I saw Wrath of Khan.
Oh, yeah.
It did
Khan's
not
got
matter
loads.
because the movie does such a good job of articulating what that character is about and what his essential conflict is about and why you should care. And like, guess what? I'm willing to bet you that Idris Elba is absolutely an actor on the line of Ricardo Montalban, but you're just not giving him the runway to do what he needs to do. It's such a missed opportunity.
Khan has 3 times as much dialogue.
3 times.
3 times
Oh,
as
that's
much,
egregious,
roughly.
but it makes sense.
All right,
We got our
gentlemen.
list, everybody. We asked to bring
Rating 3.5. Associational rating norm -3. That's
much too low a rating.
When do I get him back?
An unsatisfactory rating on a member of my crew.
20 minutes, maybe.
You gotta lasso him, pull him off.
All right, Dan, we just need a
I was
Schiller
telling-
rating and a rating, and we'll let you go.
Yeah. So the Schiller rating for this one, let me post it in chat because it's a long one. You know I love
Oh
them.
God.
Oh boy.
Long here. So let's see here. There we go. So, gentlemen and lady, how many Geiger face hugger cranial containers for Idris Elba's mixtape out of 10?
Fantastic. Start us off, Dan. Go on.
All right. So, yeah, I realized watching this movie that I think the reason why I enjoyed it so much the first time was because of the company that I saw it with, and elevated yet again by the company I have now. So I enjoy picking it apart and throwing tomatoes at it, and but that's not a pass for giving it a high Star Trek Schiller rating. So I'm gonna have to lower mine a bit. I think I came in at 6.8. I think pure nostalgia there drove that. I could call it nostalgia because it's a vintage movie now, 10 years old, right? But oh my God. But yeah, on rewatch, it's just an action flick. There's not a whole lot here apart from just familiar characters and some well executed, but still par for the course. Things blowing up. So I'm gonna lower myself to. I'm gonna go for a solid, straight down the middle, 5.0. Geiger face hugger cranial containers for Idris Elba's mixtapes out of 10.
Fantastic. Stars. Let's mix it up.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up nearly as well as it. I did remember coming into it that I was disappointed with the villain because there's so much good setup, and like I feel like if that had been executed so much better, I would be like, this is a flawed masterpiece. But as it is, it's just flawed. I still enjoy it. I will willingly rewatch it, unlike Into Darkness. But I feel like if I go back to 2009, it would feel like more coherent and in a way more honest about what it is. Whereas this is like a bit of a halfway house at 2009. It's just like, no, we're going to give you an action flick with Star Trek trappings. It's more honest in that way. That being said, there's strong performances, the strong VFX, apart from that one motorcycle shot. Great score. I like the ideas in here a lot. I also really like the ending. I think it's a really sweet ending to have the crew, the bookmark with the undiscovered country picture, and then the Enterprise A warping off into the ending with I think that's a really sweet way to end it. And if it had to go out on any Kelvin movie, it should have been this one, and that's kind of the way it worked out. So I pre-rated this as 7.5. I think I'm going to climb down to a 6.5. HR Geiger, face hugger, cranial containers for Idris Elba's mixtape of banging and shouting out of 10.
I like the beats and shouting.
And the beats and shouting.
That's what the beats and shouting is.
Okay, I'm gonna supersede next. Yeah, this was not as good as my nostalgia glasses made me remember. It's fine if you don't pay too close attention to it. It's fine. And you kind of look over and go, okay, action sequence, oh, character moment. In my head, there were more of the character moments. There was more through line running with Kirk and with Spock, but actually that kind of went away as soon as the Enterprise blew up. So did the rest of the meaningful plot. I will watch it again because, like I said before, I'm happy to categorize it as part of the Kelvinverse. Turn your brain off, just enjoy shooty lasers, and that's fine. You can do that. That's not a problem. But I kind of just wish there was I wish, Pine carries the film magnificently, but there's just far too much action. Not that I'm not against action, but there's just far too much pointless action. There's far too much things that are not explained too well, and it's such a shame. And yeah, it's just a waste of Idris Elba. So I came down. I was like 7.5. I think I'm gonna come down to straight 5. It's there. It sits there as what it is. It tries to do something to please the general audience and Star Trek fans at the same time, but can't quite do either. So that is 5 mixtapes hidden in the face hugger head of someone whose resume will desperately need updating. Auto.
So unsurprisingly, I've got to disagree with Stars here.
For once, it's
I'm not going to use the phrase real Star Trek. Like, all right, we've moved beyond that. But I will say something similar that doesn't mean the same thing. This was parts unrecognizable as Star Trek. During certain action sequences, actually kind of, especially because of the costuming, they were all in like random assorted uniforms or whatever. I just felt like I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy, or when he's on the motorbike, I'm watching Fast and the Furious. And actually that line, Starfleet is not a military organization. I don't like the fourth wall eye winks. Like, come on, if you have to do that, if you have to say, if I turn off my brain, then how is that Star Trek? That's not the Star Trek I grew up on. It's not. It's about turning your brain on and thinking and exploring, and like what first contact did we really do? Was there bridging of understanding with Jayla, or did she just kind of show up, have the ship already built, and then off we go? That being said, some of the character moments were good. There was nothing egregious. I've got to give it that. There was nothing like, oh my god, this is
Gene
so bad.
Roddenberry was not involved.
It didn't even really
get into a fist fight on a garbage pail or whatever the hell it was. Yeah,
like it didn't even come close. I picked on Quino Spock for like laughing and crying or whatever. That's fine. I could see, especially in like the later movies when it turned, I could see Nimoy Spock doing that. That didn't. It was just, yeah, like you say, idle. Too much. I want to give this a DNF because I mentally checked out the last quarter and I didn't understand the plot. I'd have to watch it again. Even reading the transcript, I'm like, did I miss something? No, they just didn't explain that. So I'm gonna settle on. Actually, the trailer was pretty true to the movie. I think that's exactly what I thought it would be. It's why I didn't watch it the first time. I'm gonna stick with my pre-rating of 3 Geiger face hugger fanny packs for fire mixtapes of Idris Elba out of 10. I'm actually very relieved that it wasn't offensive or like egregious. It was just nothing that I kind of mentally checked out of, which is a shame because I think there's actually more character threads of interest in this movie than there certainly was in the last one, and maybe even in the 09. So I probably will revisit it at some point, and try to turn my brain off when I watch it.
Okay, so while you're tabulating, Idle, I want to bring up 2 last points. One, you have to give this movie props. It is the only Star Trek movie with a Rihanna song attached to it.
Oh, I forgot about
2.
that.
Yeah.
2 out of 10.
It's Sledgehammer. It's not even the Peter Gabriel version.
Yeah, I know, right? And I have to bring up this thing because I feel like it was something I heard about 09, and the fact that Kirk and Spock spent almost no time in this movie apart from the very beginning and the very end together. Do you think that the Kelvin movies upgraded Uhura to like one of the main trio and did stuff like separating Kirk and Spock from most of the movie because they were worried that people would think they were too gay?
No, because they had Sulu like as the gay crew member, and then sort of paid.
Yeah, but that's easy. His husband doesn't even have like a line. Whereas Kirk and Spock has been a recurring thing since the 1960s, and I feel like Abrams was like, "I want to no homo this," so he upgraded Uhura, downgraded McCoy, and made them more adversarial to get away from the gay
more
stuff.
likely they looked at Zoe Saldana and just went, "Oh, she's a superstar."
She's a big star, and that's why they put her in. Yeah.
Guess what? I'm always looking for ways to make it more gay.
Always looking to fill those holes.
Yep.
Damn right.
All hail the Cork Lord. Anyway,
this is why you can't have Dan back till we're done. That's why we needed him for that.
Star Trek Beyond has scored a 4.9 out of 10, scoring exactly the same as Enterprise's Demons. Not quite as good as All Our Yesterdays, not quite as good as Shadows of Pajem or Terra Nova, ironically. But it is better than Wedding Bell Blues, better than Home Soil, better than Mud's Women. So it is sitting perfectly in the middle of the pack of perfectly cromulent Star Trek. Thank you everyone for watching, and now we're into, well, for those that are with us on the live stream, our third and a half hour. Who needs to do a charity stream? We just do this and people give us money. That'd be great.
Give us money, chat.
Yeah. We'll be back on Saturday. We're doing a duo of episodes. We are doing Auto's pick, I can't even say it, Similitude, and my pick, Obsession. So come and join us for that. Strange two-parter, but it should be fun. So from myself, everyone here, we'll see you next time. Live long, prosper, and terra.
Power Rangers, go!
So, this is what we've decided. Lisa gets you Tuesdays and Fridays. I get you Mondays and Thursdays.
We, alternate Wednesdays and weekends.
Hold on, I don't think I'm old enough to hear this kind of thing. Ladies, good day. Romano, good luck. You can return my car in the morning. If you can still drive, I'm taking the bus.